show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
The following content contains adult language and humor that is not suitable for viewers under the age of 18. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. The views and opinions expressed during the following video content are those of the individual and may not reflect those of others.
Pacific414 Pop Talk is here. Sit back and relax and join the conversation. We've got Baron, Orman Tagge, Cash Money 007, and even Mike too. Pop culture, entertainment, news and reviews. Discussions are had, opinions made from the panel to the chat. Everyone is welcome here. Reactions, watch parties, and special guests. We like to have a good time. Pacific414 Pop Talk is underway. Pull up a seat, we're inviting you to stay. Articles, collectibles, reviews, you say. Baron, Cash, and Mike bring the fun tonight. Now sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Don't forget to like or comment below. We almost forgot to share out the show. Pacific414 Pop Talk is one of a kind. It's true. It's true. Back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome one and all to this edition of Pacific414 Pop Talk, along with Baron, Orman Tagge, Cash Money 007. I am your host, Mike, and we have a few stories that we will be discussing with you tonight. The first one will be the announcement of Netflix's live-action Scooby-Doo, and that comes from The Hollywood Reporter. We will also talk about the FBI's warning about certain games that people have purchased between May of 2024 to January of this year that contain malware. And if you purchased any of these games from Steam, they advise that you check your system immediately. We will also talk about WB Games Montreal's layoffs. And this is amid the merger between Paramount, Skydance, and Warner Brothers Discovery. So we'll get into that. This article comes from Comic Book News. Sorry, Cosmic Book News. My bad. You're okay, Bern. You're okay. And we will also talk about an article from Film, where it says Transformers debuts a new Prime as Optimus no longer leads the Autobots. Now, I did show Darren and Cash some panels from that comic, and I'm interested to hear what they have to say once we get to that article. But before we get into any of these articles, I do want to also say hello to Lady Mist. I hope you're doing well.
Hi, Lady Mist.
Hello, Lady Mist.
And Cash and Baron, how are you guys doing today?
I'm not doing too bad. Hanging in there. I think the big storms are finally done. Woo-hoo.
That's good.
For the time being. Yeah, I know. I mean, a lot of snow, but now it's starting to melt. What do you expect from March? You know, what it is here in Minnesota, and at least we're not having the heat wave like California is. Heat wave, tropical heat wave. But yeah, I'm doing pretty dang good myself, sitting here and being amused.
Yeah, we had some severe storms roll through on Monday with extremely high winds. So I know you had called on Discord at one point, Cash, but I was more concerned about the tornado warnings that we had in the area.
Well, it's all good, dude. It's not a problem. It's never an issue.
He was hiding in the basement with his Optimus Prime action.
I don't have a basement.
He was
Oh,
digging a
man.
hole so he could hide with the Optimus.
I think Baron's starting to dig a hole for himself, but you know.
What do you mean? I don't have a basement either. I mean,
Baron Scream.
Baron's scream. That's right.
yeah.
The typical Decepticon. And hello to Helion. How are you doing today?
Hey, Helion.
Hello, Helion.
But Cash, how's that heat wave treating you guys?
I mean, I'm just glad I have some more fans and stuff, so it's good.
You have fans?
Yeah. Well, you can't have the air conditioning on all the time.
Oh, that kind of fans. Oh, okay. You kind of threw me off there.
No, not the other kind of fan that you're thinking of, Baron.
Yeah, well, yeah. He only has one. That's well, two.
Right.
Helion and the long soft one.
Hilarious. But yeah, it's just hanging in there. So
Doesn't he sound thrilled, boys and girls?
just hanging in there.
He sounds drained because of the heat.
Yeah, I am somewhat drained too, but no, it's just finding other articles and stuff. The DLSS5 situation is funny. Like, oh no, AI, what will we do? It's just, and then even when it's explained to people, it's like, it's hilarious. It's like, guys, it's an option you can turn on and turn off, right?
I'm not back in my bed. I'm in front of the computer. What are you talking about?
I know what she's saying. I know what she's saying.
I know what she's saying too, but she's notorious for her spelling mistakes and typos.
But yeah, even on
as am I. So I'm in good company.
Even on the Oscars, they're going off about AI this and AI that, and it's funny because the person who was talking about it was Will Arnett, who I've actually met in person, and he seems like a nice guy. But this whole AI thing, let's
name drop
go crazy about it, right? Yeah.
Me and Will Arnett, my good buddy, we're just
not even close.
Yeah, in fact, we go down to Fullerton and cruise around for babes. And,
anytime he's shooting something, I go to the catering truck and get some food.
That's right. No, but yeah, there's still a big disconnect about AI, and I don't think people like Will Arnett and other people have even tried AI. It's just it's so evil.
They probably have, and I'm just speculating here.
Maybe
they probably have. They just don't want to say they have.
Maybe they have. I don't know. It's a bunch of nonsense.
I'm sure they have, but on the public side, they gotta be outraged because SAG is telling them to, and all the others, and there might be some sincerity to it.
Well, other people are like, this was a brilliant speech, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sure it was.
Brill. It was totally brill. Well, you should talk to your buddy there. Say, hey, Will, settle it.
Yeah, he really should. He really should. Okay, I'll raise your Starscream with Optimus.
Well, you did call me Baron Scream, so I had to make sure I had.
Well, you're definitely acting like Baron Scream.
Well, I mean, there's even some people before who's like, "Oh, this is AI slop," and then it's like it's like, haven't you been using AI for a while? Like, I don't even making songs with it before, and now it's slop because it's threatening whatever you're making, and they're making it easier or something. It's ridiculous, but
thank Franny. Help thank Franny for that.
Yeah, the other thing is the thing that Skydance was doing, the Chinese were doing.
Yep.
They now blocked that off to other countries after everything that went on. So they're basically saying, "Oh, you can't get it. You can't get this version." So I don't know if that means that China is starting to win the AI race or not, but maybe.
Well, they're trying.
Well, I think it might also have to do with copyrights too.
Yeah, and I told Spock and some other people, I'm like, well, we've seen China and Disney and these other companies make these deals, and so there's shenanigans going on, I'm sure, but
shenanigans.
But what we saw in those AI videos were amazing, like Bruce Lee versus Bruce Lee and Bruce Lee versus Jackie Chan and all this crazy stuff. And you're like, oh my gosh.
I want to see Bruce Lee versus Steven Seagal.
There you go.
Why not?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's good with a lot, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, Bruce Lee versus Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Mm-hmm. Jean-Claude Van Damme, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, apparently I didn't catch the whole thing, but apparently they're going to remake one of his movies. I'm thinking, why? Why do we have to remake everything? Because we're out of ideas. That's why.
Is there really a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie worth remaking?
I don't know.
I'm serious. I mean,
here, let me find it real quick. I'm not actually going to read the article. I'm just going to put it out there.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, let's remake one of the classics, Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. Oh, yeah, that'll bring the people in. Who's Jean-Claude Van Damme? I don't know. let's remake Jean-Claude.
Yeah. Here it is from
Time Cop or whatever, but you know,
from Variety. Let me just pull it up. Okay. Yeah, I don't care about subscribing to your crap, dude. All right, go ahead, Cash. Go ahead.
I think I don't know. I mean, like Arnold's going crazy too lately. I'm like, I know you
come on, can you come in? Come on.
He should just do a movie called "Take the Shot." Take it.
Do it now. Come on.
Take the shot.
Yeah, they're gonna do a remake of Bloodsport.
Okay. I thought I read something about that recently, and I was like, "Is this a dream I had?" I'm like, "Oh shit, this is real."
The first one with a link without MSN attached to it was Screen Rant, so there's the article. But yeah, I'm just tired of remakes, reboots, rehashes.
I mean, I could see them doing Time Cop because it deserved better. But then again, you had Ron Silver in there, and Ron Silver was such a great actor. Damn, I missed that guy. He was what was worth watching that movie for was Ron Silver. But an interesting typical trope movie. But you had the superb acting of Jean-Claude Van Damme in there.
Oh, come on. He was great in Street Fighter. Come on.
He's all right, I guess.
If you believe it, you should hear the sarcasm in my voice. Should have listened to it.
I mean, it's a popcorn movie. I want there to be a great Street Fighter movie based on the anime, please. But no, we don't.
And I don't think the one that's coming out this year is going to be all that great.
No, I don't think it's going to be based on the anime, which I think is just stupid. Come on.
Yeah. But I don't know about you guys, but let's go ahead and get into our first article here, shall we?
I want to talk more about Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I mean, if you want to read that article in between the articles I read, you're more than welcome to do so.
I'm teasing. I don't want
I know you're teasing, but you know what I mean? It's like, all right, fine. They're not racist. You want to talk about it? We can talk about it, but you're reading that son of a bitch.
Well, I want to know more about Steven Seagal.
What's more that you need to know? He lives in Russia. I know that's a terrible Steven Seagal, but hey,
is he really in Russia? I thought it was another.
Last I knew, he was in Russia.
Well,
he's probably still at the polling places, and they're not voting the right way, so he just turns their heads. Like the Will Sasso thing that they had on Mad TV.
Hanging out with Putin, having borscht and vodka with Putin.
Yes, but let's go ahead and get into this first article, shall we? All right, this comes from the Hollywood Reporter, which was posted just today. It's by Rick Porter. And it says Netflix live action Scooby Doo unmasked the members of Mystery Inc. So let me get this link shared out so everybody can read along if they would like to.
I can't read, so no.
Oh, please. You're full of crap, man.
Oh, man.
No, I went to the bathroom before the show, so I'm clear.
Oh, man.
Thanks for sharing that with everybody. It's not something we all wanted to know or needed to know.
Well, you said I was full of crap. I just wanted to make sure people realize that's not true.
Oh, boy.
Surprisingly, Godzilla in there, Zendaya is not in this.
That's great.
But Netflix's live action Scooby Doo unmasked the members of Mystery Inc. Tanner Hagen, Abby Ryder Forston, and Maxwell Jenkins joined McKenna Grace in the cast.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Thank you, Han.
It says, fire up the mystery machine. Netflix has revealed the main cast of its live-action Scooby-Doo series. Maxwell Jenkins, Abby Ryder Fortson, and Tanner Hagen have joined the previously cast McKenna Grace in the series, which will tell the story of how the members of Mystery Incorporated came together. Jenkins, Lost in Space, Reacher, will play Fred. Fortson, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, will play Velma. And Hagen will play Shaggy. Grace is playing Daphne. Netflix gave Scooby-Doo a straight-to-series order just under a year ago. The show comes from Warner Brothers Television and showrunners Josh Applebaum and Scott Rosenberg, with Greg Berlanti among its executive producers, not creative, Mike. Netflix describes Scooby-Doo as a modern reimagining. There you go. There
boy.
you go.
I knew it.
Oh,
I knew
you
it.
did.
Here we go again with
Okay.
this bullshit. Netflix.
Okay, there we go. Time to hit it.
Netflix.
Every
There we go.
fucking...
That's our modern interpretation or modern reimagining Gong. There we go.
Netflix
Do you know how-
never fails.
Netflix, this is how many times you have to do this? Yes, I agree with other people that yes, you can build your own studios. Yes, you can do some good things. Yes, you made a lot of people happy with the new season of One Piece, but you can't stop doing this shit. Just fuckers.
I'm sure we're going to hear a lot more from Cash tonight.
Yeah, he felt, well, he riled up. I mean, even before I even got in the back room, he was riled up, man. Yeah, you hear that? You hear that? I heard that.
Yeah, I did.
And that's
yes.
why we love Cash.
Netflix describes Scooby-Doo as a modern reimagining of the long-running cartoon, which has gone through a number of iterations dating back to its debut in 1969. The logline reads, during their final summer at camp, old friends Shaggy and Daphne get embroiled in a haunting mystery surrounding a lonely, lost Great Dane puppy that may have been a witness to a supernatural murder. Together with the pragmatic and scientific townie Velma and the strange but ever so handsome new kid, Freddy, they set out to solve the case that is pulling each of them into a creepy nightmare that threatens to expose all of their secrets. Oh, zoink, Scoob! Hey, Tommy, what is up, brother? Good to see
Tommy.
you. Scoob, I'm not gay, but $20 is $20.
I told you there was what was going wrong in the mystery machine, Scoob.
Helion says Scooby and Shaggy will be lovers. Godzillionaire says, is Scooby-Doo going to be a guy that likes to dress as a furry? Oh, don't give Netflix any ideas, Godzillionaire.
I'm sure I'm sure they're a couple of steps ahead of you.
Yeah.
Applebaum and Rosenberg, Hulu's High Fidelity MGM Pluses from, will executive produce Scooby-Doo via their Midnight Radio banner. Berlanti, Sarah Scheider, and Lee London Redman of Berlanti Productions also executive produce, as do Midnight Radio's Andre Nemec, Jeff Pinkner, and Adrian Erickson, and pilot director Toby Haynes. And that's all they have. That's all they have. But
Mm.
the main thing that's already a turnoff is that it's going to be a modern interpretation. We don't. Knock it off.
Hey, you said modern interpretation. That's modern interpretation gone.
Modern interpretation gone. I'll give you a modern interpretation. Put up your ass. But yes, that's all the warning anyone needs about this new series. It doesn't matter who you have in it. Yes, I know McKenna Grace is one of the current It girls, but just because she's in it doesn't mean the show's going to be any good.
Mm. I mean, is it an It girl or is it a girl? I mean, you never know any of these days in Hollywood and all that, and identification politics. And stuff
is
like
actually
that.
a woman. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I've been fooled before.
Oh God, I don't know who's worse, Baron or the lone suffering. I think she's been around him too long. He's infected her mind. She says that Velma and Daphne will be in a lover triangle with Scooby. Robo Raggy.
Robo Raggy.
I'm keeping my mouth shut.
Oh man.
They'll get a knock on the back of the mystery machine. Yeah, we've got these pictures that were posted online of you. I'm not even gonna go with the rest of it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You get the picture. You get the picture.
I hear the long suffering cackling like Phil McCracken.
Oh God! Oh God! Whoa! God saying there's not any better.
Holy scoops!
Holy scoops! Will you do it for a Scooby snack? Oh God! Even I'm going down that well. Once you go down that well, you can't come back.
Oh man.
Oh boy. Well, why is it that everything that Netflix touches has to have that modern interpretation? Just stick with the source material that worked.
You got a big win recently, K-pop Demon Hunters, man. What are you guys doing? They don't care though.
They're doing the Netflix thing. We've got this popular show. Well, guess what? We're gonna Netflix it. What do I mean by Netflix it? Oh, anybody?
Yeah, Netflix.
Daniel
Cowboy
Pineda?
Bebop. Now
Yep,
this. I can
yep.
see. My goodness. Let's go down the line of these Netflix shows. Even The Last Airbender wasn't very popular. I mean, some people liked it, like Jace and stuff. I watched some of it, but
Well,
yeah, it's just not. But it's just Netflix, man. They just keep doing this stuff, and this is why people say, I still don't think though Skydance, Paramount, whenever that deal gets finalized, I want a third.
If it gets finalized.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you guys. I think just stew in your whatever, Zaslav. So you wanted this, so take just stew, just sit there and whatever. So maybe that'll happen, but. I just Netflix just keeps doing this. Cowboy Bebop. Even the creator of Cowboy Bebop basically said, "What the hell is this?"
Mm-hmm. And you couldn't blame him.
No.
No.
They massacred my baby.
What have you done to my boy?
No. And then whatever the continuation was went woke and stupid and all kinds of stuff, and it was pathetic.
And that's the thing. We don't
And that
need
was
another
Adult Swim.
bastardization
No.
of the Scooby-Doo franchise like we
Yep.
had with Velma.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a hold my beer situation. So,
Oh, wait a minute. You did that with Velma? Hey, let's see what we can do. We're Netflix.
Gosh. Netflix, you can do some great stuff, man. You can produce things. You have your own studios, but you want to. It's not just Netflix. It's all of them. Hey, let's do a live action. Okay, are you going to respect what came before it? No.
No.
Well, that's a problem then.
I mean, looking at this casting, okay, I could see this kid as Shaggy.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Put her in a red wig and glasses. I could see her as Velma.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Fred, I'm not convinced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
McKenna Grace as Daphne. I think she might be able to carry it off, but
Yeah.
what's the dialogue going to be like?
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, yeah, but when they say modern audience, everything lately, it's been now what, a number of years, modern audience this. They've even said Grand Theft Auto 6, modern audience. Splinter Cell, modern audience. It's like, oh boy. Those are red flags.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah, and Tommy is saying that he was requested to do a Toys from the Past segment on a toy subway line that has well connotations. Be interested to find out if he decided to do it. And Godzilla there says the Fred kid has a real Freddie Prinze vibe. Yeah,
I see it.
I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, it's not totally a vibe that Freddie Prinze has.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
And Tommy says he did it, even though he has a head twitch and shake no. Oh, well, I know at least with the last Transformers animated series, that definitely made Transformers go woke. But I'm holding my response to the main article tonight until we get to it. But, gentlemen, ladies, and gentlemen, what do you have to say about this casting and the fact that it's going to be on Netflix that you haven't already said?
Well, you know what it's going to be. There's going to be people out there who are going to be like, let's just wait and see. Let's wait and see.
Just throw it into the wood chipper now. We don't just, we don't need it.
I mean, we already had a animated one of Velma, which was just god awful, and it's just, this could be another situation again. And what did Netflix do just recently? They divided their audience with their popular show Stranger Things. So, they're just wins.
Well, let's not forget the fact that they're splitting up seasons now, and people aren't liking that too much.
Well, I mean, they started that with STD.
Yep. Their most popular show right now, even more than Bridgerton, is the second season of One Piece. So they've done a lot of things right. Other people are taking things out of context, of course, but and K-pop Dean. No, never.
Out of context? Never.
Never.
I don't do that.
So Netflix does cool things that makes people really happy, like K-pop Demon Hunters. Then they do stuff like this and divide audiences, and it's like, can you guys find a brain on this, please?
Even the final season of Cobra Kai wasn't perfect.
I'm sure it was. I haven't watched it yet. It's worth watching, though, you think? Still?
Yeah, it's still worth watching it.
Okay.
But there was still some issues I had with it. And my main issue was I don't really think there needed to be a season 6. I think you could have wrapped everything up in season 5.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to go that way.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me, Helion. I don't. I'm not really surprised about any of this stuff. Just like, okay, Mortal Kombat, yeah, there's potential there. You got Carl Urban. He's a really good actor. Is Johnny Cage okay? But still, what are we going to do? I mean, they've already done some damage to the actual game, and the co-creator doesn't care. He's for it. Maybe he's getting more money. I'm sure he is. But so I don't know what's going to happen. This new Street Fighter film, we don't know. I mean, I'm okay with live action stuff, but are they going to care enough about the source material? They don't have to show all of it or use all of it, but obviously, but it's just, there's stuff that's already built up. And so why don't we just go with that and just go from there? So you want to do a live action, this will be like the first time ever a live action Scooby-Doo show. Okay, then just follow what they did with the cartoons, the original cartoons. Boom. I don't understand why it's that hard.
You have a lot of cartoons to look at. The original. You have the Scooby and Scrappy show. You have many shows that involve Scooby-Doo to, see where you can take the characters. But don't spit on the graves of Hanna-Barbera.
Exactly. Please don't.
Don't spit on the grave of William Hanna and Joseph Barbera. That's right. What I'm saying.
Of course not.
Yeah. But it wasn't God's. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and go to our next article here, ladies and gentlemen.
As you can see, we were really impressed with this story. That's what we need. Modern audience stuff.
Honestly, anytime I hear that spoken or I read it in an article, it's like, here we go again. Here we go again. Why don't you just take a story and characters, even established stories and characters, and create a story that fits in that universe instead of worrying about it being a modern take. Just make it and make it good.
Yeah, you can do all kinds of stuff with it. You can have Fred leave the group like they've done before. Then he has to join the group. You could have Daphne leave. You could have all kinds of stuff going on. But they just don't, that we've already seen in the cartoons, even more recent ones like the early 2000s, and the art still looked good. So there's all kinds of storylines you can do with Scooby-Doo, all kinds of villains you can do. Oh no, villains.
Well, I mean, when it comes down to it, instead of saying made for a modern audience, just say it as is.
Exactly.
It's made for window-licking IQ 64 morons.
That's right.
Well, there goes my secret.
Twitter. Sorry. Twitter squeechers. There we go. That's what we're going to call them. Twitter squeechers. The IQ 65, window licking Twitter squeechers.
And Helion loved Grey's Anatomy in the beginning until the woke took over. Well, Grey's Anatomy, to me, from what I've seen of it, seems like a show that just went on for far too long. And that happens to shows. There are shows that go on way too long. It's like, okay, you should have cut this 5 seasons ago.
If you're going to do stuff, just keep trying to invent the wheel. Keep trying to come up with stuff if you want, if the show's popular enough still, and just keep going. I mean, they didn't need to do what they did to the audience of Stranger Things with Netflix. They didn't need to do that. That was just weird and ridiculous. And even people who were gay said, what is this?
Yeah, and why not? Why not
Some
the
of them did. Yes.
mystery gang in their middle ages? Daphne and Fred are married.
Exactly.
Maybe Shaggy and Velma are married.
Right. Yeah, because there was something that they had something going on in the later cartoon a little bit. So yeah. Why not?
Well, that's what I'm drawing from.
Yep.
Who's Scooby married to?
Yep. It was the only cartoon that actually did it too. It's really interesting, some of this stuff, but it can work. You can try things. Hey, this didn't work. Let's try this. Oh, try things. Sorry. We have to just have it for the modern audience. And people need to accept it or we're going to get you.
Tim, safe travels to Paris, and also be safe while you're there.
Yes.
But we are going to go ahead and move on to our next article here. As long as you guys are done saying what you have to say about this first one, if you still have anything you want to say it now.
Netflix sucks.
Yeah, come on, Netflix, do better, man. You've made some people happy, and then you start your bullshit again. How much bullshit? And any of these companies can do this stuff, but really, Netflix, come on.
I mean, I'm even thinking that Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano MMA fight's gonna turn out just as bad as the Tyson
I hope
Paul
not,
fight
dude.
was.
Oh, that would be horrible.
I want to watch it. I'll admit it. I want to watch it.
Me too.
Just to see Gina.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. You can do this.
Yeah, they can, but they apparently don't want to. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the next article, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so this comes from Nikole Stewart of Bounty in the Comics. It says Steam users urged to check devices after FBI malware warning.
It's one of the best articles I've seen from her lately. Before they started this whole thing, like, here are the top 10 favorite games. I was like, oh boy.
Yeah, of course. Then that High Guard article she had shortly after that game was released, and
yep.
Mm-hmm. Ugh. Yeah, she's not the most intellectual when they got there.
Tampons all over the ring. Activity sponsors everywhere.
And here we are at Tampax Arena for the big fight between Gina Carano and Ronda Rousey.
Oh
man.
Brought to you by Midol. That's right, Midol. When you have those pains, you got Midol. And we're going to be...
Get that Geritol, too. I should be talking. I'm in my 40s, so... But we have this article from Bounty in the Comics, and it says Steam users urged to check devices after a malware attack warning by the FBI. According to a post by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, several Steam games contained malicious software that could have impacted games. The hell you say? The suspected activity stretched from May 2024 through January 2026. The titles named so far include Blockblasters, Jima, Dashverse, Dash FPS. I've heard of none of these games.
No.
I have them all.
No, if you had them all, I wouldn't be surprised. Lampy, Lunara, Piratefy, and Toknova. All tied to a case of being handled by the FBI's Seattle division. Again, I don't know any of these games.
Well, I got mine thing up. You got me curious, man.
FBI warns that games like High Guard may in fact be malware. If you or someone you know installed one of these games, you are being asked to fill out a victim information form or email the bureau directly. Bleeping Computer reported that the agency is trying to identify people who may have suffered account takeovers, stolen funds, or other damage after launching the games. The FBI is legally mandated to identify victims of federal crimes it investigates. Victims may be eligible for certain services, restitution, and rights under the federal and/or state law. All identities of victims will be kept confidential, the FBI told Bleeping Computer. Well, I mean, I'm always going bleepy computer when I'm at my computer anyway. You bleeping machine. That's not what I wanted.
I told you.
You son of a.
On the surface, these games looked ordinary. However, they included shady software that slipped into Steam, which created the scam. Polygon reported that several of the titles were linked to suspected crypto scams, while TechCrunch noted the FBI believes the same hacker may be behind multiple malware laced games published on the platform. Amongst the titles, Block Blasters, a free to play 2D platformer that was available from July to September 2024, was one of the most notable cases. While initially uploaded to Steam as a clean program, Crypto Drainer malware was later added to the game. It goes on to say reports say one streamer lost more than $32,000 after downloading it. The same report said blockchain investigators estimated losses across hundreds of Steam accounts, which shows this was not some tiny nuisance buried in a corner of the platform. Generally, Valve acts rapidly to terminate offending games after discovering their true nature. However, some games do get past them. Unfortunately, for example, Blockbusters reached a peak of 7 concurrent users according to SteamDB. Wow. And unfortunately, yeah, I would laugh at that number of 7 concurrent users of that particular game, but because of how serious this is and how we're under cyber attacks all the time for people trying to rip off and sell your data, you have to take it very seriously.
Yes.
And a statement that go ahead,
I
Darren.
didn't see. Well, they must have taken them off Steam already. Thank God. So I didn't see them when I looked. I just was curious.
And it says in a statement to PC Mag, Valve said we previously sent email notifications to players who launched certain games on Steam when we discovered that builds of those games likely contained malware. We removed those builds from Steam, investigated the incidents, and cooperated with law enforcement. Yesterday, we forwarded to affected customers a message from the Federal Bureau of Investigation regarding the investigation. It says, how can you tell what's a trap and what's real? It's important to note Steam's features. For instance, Steam Early Access is a real feature. And Valve boasts, that it allows developers to sell the game while it's unfinished, as long as it's playable. This is a great way to promote the game while testing it and gives the audience a chance to point out bugs and suggest ways to make the game smoother. Along with that, Steam playtest is also legitimate, with Valve describing it as a separate, low-risk way for developers to let players test the game before the full release. But with these features, some scammers have hidden behind certain language that players are used to, using words like playtest, beta, or early access. So that's how they're getting people. Makes the game seem promising, but makes it easy for gamers to download a fake or compromised game. It's important to do your research before downloading a game. It says, if you or someone you know downloaded one of these games, please fill out a short form with relevant information. The FBI is collecting victim reports, technical details, screenshots, and any communication users had with people who promoted the games. The Brewers form asks about Steam IDs, account compromise, crypto wallet activity, suspicious contacts on platforms like Discord or Telegram, and whether money was lost. Info Security Magazine reported that the campaign appears tied to efforts to trace victims and map out the malware operation more completely. How can Steam gamers protect themselves? Be wary of random messages pushing you to download a game, join a playtest, or move money around. I don't respond to those messages anyway.
No.
The FBI says unknown contacts should not be trusted with financial or personal information. Again, I don't give anybody my information.
That is the
But-
biggest no shit statement right there. It's like,
Yeah.
come on, folks. We've been on the internet for how long, and the Nigerian princes and stuff like that, and you still get suckered in. Welcome to the Darwin Awards computer version. That's
Yep,
all I can
we've been on the internet for more than 30 years.
say. Mhm.
And it warns people to treat online investment advice with extreme caution. Anytime I get some kind of message saying I can help grow your channel, it's like delete your spam, delete your spam. You're blocked too.
Mhm.
If something feels off after installing a game, run a security scan. Check what software was recently added. Change important passwords from a clean device, and review accounts tied to your browser or crypto wallet.
Yeah, there's always a problem with the games I download. I always lose, but that's beside the point.
Well, I always lose too. You see it on stream all the time.
Yeah.
Steam previously warned affected users in one case to scan their systems and consider reinstalling the operating system, which tells you how serious these infections can be. If they're that deep, just wipe it all out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm serious. If it runs that deep into your system, wipe it out.
Mm-hmm. You gotta.
Yeah. There is also a simple rule here that still holds up. Even in a world full of slick store pages and polished trailers, slow down before you click. Research a game before downloading. For older gamers, especially the ones who still think of Steam as the safe shelf at the video game store, this story is a rough reminder that familiar brands don't always mean familiar risk. You always have to take a chance of where you're purchasing content from anymore.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But Steam is good if for some reason you actually do get scammed or whatever, you can get your account back as long as you prove it. I don't know if things have changed, but yeah, so just have to be careful.
Just avoid those Japanese role-playing games, that's all.
If you downloaded one of the named games between May 2024 and January 2026, the smartest move now is to report it and lock down your accounts. And I'm going to give Nikole credit. This is actually one of her better articles.
It is.
I'm surprised. I really am.
I know. Yep.
Bravo. Maybe she had one of these games.
Oh, of course. Look at this person. I've never used Steam. Thank God for that. And look at all those upvotes. Give me a break. Oh, because I'm a console person only.
Either that or they go to Epic.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
this
maybe.
response right here. All platforms have this issue. Even a legitimate and trusted website can become a delivery system for malware.
That's
Indeed.
right. Mm-hmm.
There have been more malware distributed through the Google Play Store and the Apple Store.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, the Google Play Store had problems. Like even if you have a tablet or something, like you downloaded a .apk file or whatever right on the Google thing, like it can actually mess up your whole freaking tablet and stuff.
Yep.
It's crazy. So then you have to remove it. You can even on your tablet, sometimes you can just run into problems. I put an ad blocker on my tablet because there was just some problem. And then there's some number that comes up and it's like, wait a second here. No, let's not do this. You know.
And I like how Godzilla put it here. The Candy Crush bombs are going to act all high and mighty now.
Yeah.
And yet, like Cash just said, it can affect services like Google Play. It can affect the Apple Store, and I was about to call it the iStore, but
seems to have good security, surprisingly, but you can run into some problems too. Nothing's perfect. You can run into some issues.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a cyber world, and you're under constant threat from all across the world. I know I'm pointing out the obvious, but
People go and yell at TikTok, but it's like, well, Google and Facebook have misused your data, so pick your poison. Google can do great things, sure, they all can, but still, TikTok can have good people on there too that have good messages every day, but still, there's other problems.
All of them can do good.
Yeah.
But you have to be diligent.
That's right.
Well, just go with my rule. Don't trust anything.
Yeah.
No.
Especially when it comes to the internet.
Seems not perfect. GOG has a lot of cool stuff, but they've done a few things here and there, and so they're all just Epic. Still doesn't even allow user reviews. I mean, Steam has a lot of cool stuff for the community, which is nice. But they have people on there, even their mods, who ban stuff. So it's just there's problems always. There's always these extra problems there don't need to be. But
well, just because.
But any final thoughts on this? I mean, my biggest word of advice to people is do routine scans of your system. Or if you know your system well enough and you notice something's odd, do another scan, even if you've already done a more recent scan.
Yep.
Look at what you recently downloaded and see if that might be causing an issue.
Yep.
There may not even be malware, Trojan, or any kind of virus in that software. It could be something in that download that didn't download correctly.
Yep. Don't download .exe files if it's a .zip file. Those are fine usually. But .exe, any of that stuff, something that looks suspicious, just don't click on it. So.
Yeah. And
usually
even
the ones I usually have problems with the download is the Microsoft updates.
Yes. Yeah, I know Microsoft can screw your
and
computer.
I was joking. I'm not joking.
I know.
I know you're not.
I know. It feels like it's malware.
You have your updates. And,
Yes.
Right.
Oh, remember,
it's like you got to restart your computer a few times for it to start going.
Well, remember when I had you and Spock on The Adventure Continues? It was because of some updates that messed with my system where I couldn't even join you guys that night.
Right. Exactly.
It's this.
And they want to do something just before you're going to go on air too.
But any other thoughts on this article before we move on to the next one? Going once?
Again, don't trust anything. I mean, anything.
Yeah.
Be on your guard always.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next article. All right, so we have this one from Cosmic Book News, and it says WB Games layoffs reportedly hit Montreal Studio amid Warner Brothers upheaval. This article is by Patrick Scanlon, and it was posted on Monday. And there is the article for everybody to read if they choose to read it for themselves. It says, reports claim layoffs have hit WB Games Montreal, the studio behind Batman Arkham Origins and Gotham Knights, adding to the turmoil surrounding Warner Brothers Discovery and its gaming division. According to posts circulating on X and additional online reports, an unspecified number of staff at WB Games Montreal have been let go. Warner Brothers has not publicly confirmed the reported cuts as of this writing. WB Games Montreal reportedly hit by layoffs. It says the reported layoffs are said to involve WB Games Montreal, one of Warner Brothers' key studios tied to the DC game development. I mean, they were key to developing, the Arkham series. And it says the studio is best known for Batman Arkham Origins and Gotham Knights. It has also been reported that the team had been working on a DC live service game, though official details about the project have never been fully revealed. That makes the timing stand out even more, as fans have already been questioning the direction of Warner Brothers games following multiple setbacks over the past year. And yeah, Arkham Knights, that was a complete mess.
You
Even
mean,
after
You mean Gotham Knights? Yeah.
whatever. They tried to make it like Arkham. So
Yeah, Origins is actually very good. There's a lot of cool detective work in that game.
yeah,
But,
Paul gifted that to me. I'll play that sometime.
Yeah, definitely you should. It was actually surprising. But yeah, no, Gotham Knights, I don't know. It's kind of like, well, Mike finished that. I guess I got to finish that at some point. But that game is it's hard to get through.
It had problems. We even tried doing a multiplayer
Yes.
of it, and we still had problems. Even after the 40 gigabyte patch
Yeah.
update,
I know.
the game was still crash.
Yes.
So it says Batman game rumors continue. At the same time, talk continues that a new Batman game is in development. Goes on to say nothing official has been announced regarding a new Batman title from WB Games Montreal, but the Batman brand remains one of Warner Brothers' biggest gaming assets. And Godzilla there says Gotham Knights. How to make a great Batman game. Step 1, kill Batman. Step 3, profit.
Yeah. Well, considering what happens where Batman, and it's like, oh, Batman's dead. Oh, is he? And then it's like, oh boy, here we go. Yeah. So, yeah.
It says earlier comments from the company leadership also pointed to a renewed focus on major franchises moving forward, with DC and Batman expected to remain a top priority along with Harry Potter. So while one project may be in trouble, Batman is still viewed as one of the safest bets in the company's gaming portfolio. Well, you're not going to get rid of your golden goose unless you're a complete and total
And just
moron.
make a gosh dang better game than Gotham Knights. What the fuck? Somewhat decent, but seriously.
I mean, one of the things that really killed it for me with Gotham Knights was all the side quests that you had
Yeah,
to do.
they're not that interesting, and they get repetitive, and there's just stuff in there. And then, of course, you read emails and stuff, and it's just things like, "Oh, Nightwing is actually by," or "Dick Grayson is by," and you're like, "What the?"
I don't care about that shit. I want to be able to go and bust bad guys.
Seriously, right? Exactly. Yeah.
But it's important to the story. How else? I mean,
Uh,
how else are you going to take care of that
that's
modern
debatable.
audience?
That's
One of the fun
debatable.
things in that game is just to
I know.
go and play Spy Hunter, man. Play old Spy Hunter game for hours.
Well, I mean, at least you and I didn't pay that much for Gotham Knights. We got it
No.
on sale.
No, that game is something to buy on sale if you want. You can have some fun with it, but I'll have to try it again and see if it's
$26 of change just to play Spy Hunter. Why? Okay, here. I never posted a review for it, but here's my review for Gotham Knights. The main game sucks, but the Spy Hunter bonus game, 2 thumbs up, 5 stars.
Oh,
Best
man.
game out there.
It's funny, there used to actually be even more current Spy Hunter games, but they just stopped making them for whatever reason. And it's like, come on, guys.
Can't beat the original, really. Honestly.
The original's great. Yeah.
It says more trouble for Warner Brothers Games. The reported layoffs come after Warner Brothers Games has already gone through a rough stretch. The division has been dealing with restructuring, studio closures, canceled projects, and fallout from high-profile misses. That has left fans wondering what the long-term plan actually is for DC Games, especially after years of inconsistent results. Well, you
Yes.
don't even know if Paramount Skydance is even going to keep that division open.
Right.
Yeah, my guess is it's you know it's might be in danger, possibly.
If these latest reports are accurate, it would be another sign that Warner Brothers is still cutting back while trying to reset its gaming strategy. More on that below.
Mhm.
All right. Paramount deal adds more questions. The reports also come amid Paramount Skydance's pending acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery, a deal that has not closed yet but is already fueling speculation about further cost cutting across the company. There have also been reports about Gulf State money being tied to Paramount's broader financing efforts, which has only added more attention to what happens next. However, there is no indication at this time directly linking the reported WB Games Montreal layoffs to the Paramount deal or any outside investors. The Saudis have purchased Electronic Arts for $55 billion. Still, the timing is hard to ignore. With WB Games Montreal reportedly taking a hit, a DC live service game rumored to be in the mix, and Batman said to still be part of the future, Warner Brothers Games looks like it remains deep in transition. Back when Netflix was in the mix to buy WBD, it was also reported that Netflix considered WB Games worthless. And that's not good.
It's
If
No.
you look at a division of a company, you go, well, that's just fat. Let's trim off the fat.
it's just,
Yeah.
it's the same thing when Disney, of course, acquired this stuff, and Disney Interactive's like, we don't need this game anymore. This game was fun, but screw it. Let's get rid of Star Wars 1313, all this other stuff. And you're like, why? There's so much potential here. So we just throw away all the work that people actually did on this game. It's just, it's really just, it's sad in so many ways because it's like if things aren't working, then let's fix them. No, let's just throw it away. No.
Diagnose what the problem is and try to fix it if you can.
Good grief, man. Why throw this away? You guys had a massive hit with Harry Potter. I mean, my gosh.
They were supposedly working on its sequel.
Gosh, man. I don't these industries nowadays, they're so confusing, and there's been so many layoffs, and it sucks, but a lot of it is also their own doing too. That of course, besides the fat cats getting richer, but still, it's not just that. It's also just bad decisions. I mean, Suicide Squad could have been a really good game, but they decided to go in some stupid directions with it. So
well, they killed off Batman. The last game that featured Kevin Conroy's voice as Batman, they kill him off.
Right.
Yeah.
Even in Gotham Knights, and spoiler alert, it's like, oh, Batman's dead. Oh, wait, Batman's not dead. It's all these just crazy things. And while you can have some fun in Gotham Knights, that game is no near $60, $70, whatever. It's just not that fun. And it shows with a lot of people who are like, yeah, it's okay, I guess. Sort of, kind of. But it could be so much more. We've seen in the Arkham games, even Arkham Knight. It's a good game. It's a solid story, I think. But after that, they've just started dropping the ball on this stuff.
I was bitching when you and I were playing Gotham Knights.
I know. It was ridiculous. It's a pain in the ass. So they're just like, oh, let's just get rid of this, or we bought this company, or we bought this. Was it the 20th Century Fox? I can't remember how Disney got a hold of stuff like Star Wars 1313. It was Disney Interactive or something like that. I'll have to look into that, how they got a hold of that. But yeah.
They shut down LucasArts. That's what it was.
Right, it
they
was all
shut down
part of
they shut down
LucasArts. That's right,
LucasArts
that's
only a
right.
few years later
That's right.
to
Yeah.
start up
Mhm.
Lucasfilm Games. It's like you
Right.
should have just kept LucasArts.
Exactly. That's what they should have done.
Waffles.
Yeah. Because that's
Yeah.
right. That was still part of LucasArts, the Star Wars 13.
And-
It had to be.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and 1313 wasn't going to
Mhm.
be part of their world building.
Right. You know, if you got right, exactly. So now you call it Lucasfilm Games or whatever. It's just LucasArts was a great name, and they could have just kept it.
Yeah.
I agree. Could have just kept it.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones turned out well. They can do these things.
Mhm.
It's just I don't know. It just I don't get it. Let's just ruin these games, ruin this. That's what I was thinking of. Disney Interactive was like, okay, we're going to get rid of this mobile Star Wars game that was actually quite fun. And then we're going to focus on these other mobile games. I don't know. It's really weird.
Mhm.
All
Which
this
one?
stuff is really bizarre. It was called Salt Team or something, that card
Mhm.
game. You can look it up if you want,
Okay.
Baron. It was pretty fun. It was actually a pretty fun
Okay.
but they got rid of that to go with some other Star Wars game. I can't remember what it's called. Some other mobile game. It was weird. They do these weird things, and I don't get it. We're finally getting Star Wars games again, but still, it's like, should we excited about a new pod racing game? I mean, if it's fun and the controls are even better than the last one. I mean, the game was fun, but
Well,
What's a stickler for me nowadays is what's it going to cost,
right.
and what are the controls going to be like?
Yep, exactly, Godzillionaire. It's just the first Force Unleashed, and then the second one was shorter, but it was still pretty good. They could build on that.
Yeah.
I know Crit has obviously been interested in other people, probably in a Force Unleashed 3, but I don't know. It's been so many years, so you forget about this Battlefront 2. I mean, we can go down the line from the Warner Brothers games to the Star Wars games, but look, Indiana Jones turned out well. So once again, you guys can do these things.
The remaster of Dark Forces turned out well.
It did.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So
He
it's
blew us
just,
up the ashtray.
that's right. That's so weird to me because he smokes, and why wouldn't he have the ashtray? But it's just they can do these things, but then you have the Battlefront 2 Classic coming back, a remaster, and it turns out to be poo-poo. And it's just it's stupid. There's still people out there who are trying to say, isn't this the game you guys wanted? No, man. We want more because we've had more. And then you see what happened with Battlefront 3, and it's like a big tease. Hey, look at what this was. Oh, wait, sorry.
Oh wait, you're
Never
not
got
gonna-
completed. That's right. And it's not the developer's fault. It's these other people, EA and other stuff. And even like Battlefront 2, even though it can be fun, you still could have more heroes and villains. You could still have more of this. But they abandoned these games, or they had some gambling thing and even pissed off Disney. There's just a whole list of things that continue to go on, and you just shake your head. It's like, oh, well, we have World of Warcraft. Well, why can't the strategy games come back at Blizzard? Why? Diablo's still going on, so why can't these games come back? Why?
Because they don't think we're smart enough. At least the audience that they're aiming it for aren't smart enough. I mean, honestly, the trendies aren't patient enough or smart enough to do
you
these
get it,
bad
man.
games.
That's right, dude. Those were great games. You can go in the ship. You can do all kinds of things. I don't care if some people don't like the way the combat is, turn-based, whatever. It was still great.
Yeah, but we all know what happened to the remaster. The remaster was canceled.
Yep, it's either canceled, or they say it's still going on, or there's eclipse going on, or all this stuff. They talk about these things over and over again. Then we get great stuff like High Guard.
Well, I mean, the thing is Force Unleashed should be considered official. Why? Because George Lucas had his fingers all over that. That was a gift to his son Jet, right? So George was involved from ground up on that one. So it's like, well, anything that George had to do with it, well, he was really active. I mean, in that game. And of course, they toss off to the side, and what do we get instead? You know, it's just like, no.
Yep. And you look at the Trek games. I mean, Spock is right. How many games do we need of Trek? Why can't we get something like Elite Force again?
I
mean,
would love it
did,
in Elite Force 3.
Just because we got Resurgence, but that's more of like a Telltale. Not everybody's going to like that kind of stuff. So
no, not everybody.
Exactly.
Not everybody likes to make your own choice.
That's right.
Type of games.
Mm-hmm.
Even dispatches like that. But
yes,
see, that's the thing. Where I like those games, like I said, someone's not going to like those games. I say, I don't like point and click. I want to actually be part of the action.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yep. And these things just keep happening over and over again. You can say whatever you want about the Super Star Wars and whatever. You can still, as frustrating as those games can be, you can still find fun in them. It's just, I just don't understand. You go back to the old Game Boy thing where you're bouncing off the, like the rock and stuff, and you're getting hit by the enemies and stuff, but you can still find fun.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's so stupid. I mean, even like that old Spider-Man game that was annoying and shit, trying to climb up the buildings and stuff.
Well, still, you know what? You could buy the Maximum collection soon, and you can experience that all over again.
All over again. I mean, even Konami is starting to make games again. I mean, it's just all this stuff is so crazy to me, but they just keep dropping the ball and they lose money, and they just keep doing these things. It's crazy. We want these kind of games. Let's keep making this live service stuff. We're going to make more money. Okay.
I am so sick of live service.
Me too.
I don't want to have an online connection all the time just to play a game. I want to be able to fire up a game and just play it.
Yes.
Give me a patch update that doesn't screw up something else in the game.
Yeah. I mean, no one's even talking about even that last the newest Double Dragon game and stuff that was supposed to be more of the
one that came out in October.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I read some reviews. It's like, I'm not buying this piece of shit. No, when you have control issues and hit detection issues, I'm not gonna play a game like that.
No.
And then try to stream it. If I choose to stream it and all you hear is fuck this, fuck that. I'm saying it because you guys know, everybody knows that's exactly what I'd be doing.
You know,
we enjoy that.
There's things that they do. I mean, I think it's cool that they did the remake of Metal Gear Solid 3. People love that game, Snake Eater. They love it. It's a very popular game.
They love it as long as they don't play like I play. Stealthily. Who needs it?
But it's just they just keep dropping the ball with all this stuff. I mean, we get Squadrons, and then it's not. Some people like it. Some people got really good at it. I know somebody who got really good at it, but I'm like, is this game really worth getting that good at? We can't walk on the ship around it. We can't do these things. Oh, who cares? What do you mean, who cares? And then they abandoned it too. The company abandoned the game as well.
I'll be right back, guys.
So it's just, I don't really understand these things. You know, we could get a quality Conan game again. We have actually. Conan Exiles is surprisingly really fun. They can do a lot of amazing things. So it's so
you got
crazy.
that online one too, Unchained, I believe.
Yeah,
Conan Unchained or whatever. So I mean, you got a couple Conan games out there. Yeah, and I hear a lot of good things about the one you were talking about.
Some of these games are coming back. Golden Axe, and I have no problem with that. Maybe they should, because it's just like a lot of this newer stuff is like, I don't know what you guys are doing, man. We don't understand.
That's funny. They don't either.
No, I don't think they do.
No, I'm not even joking. They don't know.
I don't think they do.
They just figure that, you know, they just do the bare minimum, and we're going to be stupid enough to go out there and buy it because it's got a name on it. You know, it's like, it's got Star Wars on it. I'm going to buy it because obviously it's going to be good because Star Wars or whatnot like that.
Yeah, exactly. The Ferengi game, Godzillionaire. Life Sim. Quarks Bar Life Sim. I might play that. That could be pretty fun. Is that how does the point system work in that, or is it just a daily life of Quark and it's just they keep missing the point of all this stuff. I heard Quake is coming back. I'm like, all right, are they going to do it right? I mean, Doom, yeah, it's fun. I get it, it's fun, but where's the multiplayer? Doom was always known for fun multiplayer. So once again, they just keep missing this stuff. Yeah, I like turn-based games too, Helion.
Yeah.
I just they miss the point. I mean, yet there's still so many quality Japanese RPG games out there. There's quality, but they're missing all this other stuff. You can make money off these things. It's been proven many times. I don't get it. I really don't. Even the newest Pokemon game, like, it can be fun, but it's not as fun as some of the other ones. So I don't know what they're doing. Yeah.
Pokey.
Yep. Oh yes, I agree, Godzilla. It's crazy.
Because it's a Japanese role playing game.
Well, some of them aren't as good as
you
others.
love them all.
It just depends.
You love them all.
No, some of them aren't.
Christopher Nolan.
Right, sure, because he never does anything wrong.
Never.
But really, it's just that they have these visions and then they squander them. They do these anime games too, and they're not as fun as, say, watching the actual show or watching the actual anime, or they even censor some things. It's so cuckoo nuts all the time. It really is. Or the game doesn't work as well, or I just don't understand it, man. There's so much potential for like more Star Wars games. There's so much potential for more Trek games. I'm sure of it. But it just Doctor Who could even have a fun game if they do it right.
Even
not include the new crap.
No.
But see, even with the Trek games, even that new Voyager game, it just wasn't working for me.
Right. There's already been too many strategy games. Spock is right about that. We just need more stuff like, okay, point and click, great, but let's do a first person like Elite Force. Let's have the old cast come back, pay them money, whatever. It's so weird.
There's even a Star Trek game that has VR support. I don't want to play a game that has VR support and deals with zombies. I don't want that in my Star Trek game.
Yep.
I'm so tired of zombies.
I know, man. And Commando looks fun, but it's still also zombies again. It looks fun.
The demo wasn't bad. I'm sure it's a lot more fun when you're playing with a group of friends.
Yeah.
You can only play with a maximum of 4 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I have a hard time for because I don't know 4 people.
They did a lot of, I still think even like Space Marine 2, they did a lot of good work. They can do a lot of cool stuff. But the thing is, like, they just keep dropping the ball on all this other stuff, and they just don't seem to know what they're doing. Like, if you're working on Trek, just keep building it. Build it the right way. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, remember the lead up to Space Marine 2, where we're all being told, "Oh my God, this is going to turn absolute woke. This is going to be such a woke game."
Because we saw that one person who was working on it. Yes.
Yeah, well, and the history that one person has.
Right.
But the thing is, it didn't turn out that way. It's still
it turned out to be a very good game.
Yeah, it did. So they can do this stuff, but it's the same with like Batman. You don't have to just do Batman. We had like one Justice League game, I think, maybe 2 ever in the history of the franchise or whatever. And it's like, if you guys could do it right, where people could play different. I don't know. There's also been some online stuff too, of course, DC Online or whatever. But they can do
DC
these
Universe
things.
Online.
Yeah, DC Universe. Yeah. They can do this stuff, but they just don't seem to always know what they're doing. There could have been a fun Suicide Squad and Batman and the thing, okay, but you go about it the wrong way, and then you want your politics in there that shouldn't be in there. Yeah. All this stupid stuff, man. Or more as a live service and all this dumb stuff. It's just stupid.
It really is.
It really is stupid. So they deserve to lose money. And like, no, I don't want to see these companies close down. Things can be fixed. But, Starfleet Academy fans, probably Godzillionaire. There are out there. So
There,
Awesome.
there are Starfleet Academy fans out there, but then I also think there are paid shields out there
oh
who,
yes.
want to get whatever gift box that Paramount Skydance will send them for giving them a rave review on the series. I'm sorry, I watched 15 minutes of that, the first episode that was on YouTube, and I couldn't get through the rest. It's like, no,
Mhm.
no, I want thought provoking Star Trek again. I want something like yesterday's
Yes.
Enterprise that gives me that what if
Mhm.
situation.
Right.
What if the
Mhm.
Klingon outpost on Narendra 3 was destroyed? What
Mhm.
would life in the Alpha Quadrant be like for everybody? What would it be like on the Enterprise without a Worf?
Yep.
Even without Deanna?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yep.
Right.
Look at what Bethesda's doing. Like, I mean, now what? Starfield is better because of a modder again, and it's like, how lazy
Yeah.
can you guys be? How lazy can you guys be?
Right.
We're
I
supposed
mean,
to have faith
What
in Elder Scrolls 6 and other people like somebody I know, her husband is actually always streaming ESO and the things that they're doing to that. Now, it's all this stuff. It's ridiculous. This stuff can be great again.
make video games great again. Dang it.
what's
Gosh.
what's so wrong with that? What's so wrong with having a game
Yeah.
that has a little bit of the retro 8-bit, 16-bit style,
Exactly.
or a game that's
Right.
more, you know, of current day video games,
Yep.
of all the 3D aspects, the shading,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mhm.
all that.
Yep.
But the main thing that
Yeah.
any game has to have for me, I don't care what area you're trying to emulate, it has to have good controls, good responsive
Yes.
controls.
Yes, that's
Right.
important. I mean, I don't know what they're doing with Halo and after the Halo show and things that they insulted with that. It's just all they actually managed to insult Master Chief. That's great, but I don't understand a lot of these decisions now. Some of these games coming back and okay, that's fine, but I want to see some new stuff and I want to see some more things into the franchise. Even Street Fighter, while it's fun, Street Fighter 6, while it's fun, there's still a bit of nonsense in there that doesn't need to be there, in my opinion. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we talk about zombie games. How we have a lot of zombie games. Of course, I'm currently playing a zombie game with Resident Evil Requiem, but the story
yes,
itself has pulled me in.
right. Yeah. Even though that, and then they had the anti-cheat tampering system, then, tampering software, and then that can be a headache too. It's just all this stuff. Luckily, it hasn't been for you, Mike, and I don't think it has been for other people, but I know they get rid of that after a while. But uh, there's all this cool stuff that they could do. Why don't we get another robot game that's cool? I can't think of one lately. I mean, there's been a few, but I can't think of one that just lets you do all these cool things.
I was
Yeah,
looking forward to Transformers Reactivate.
yeah, that had
I
potential.
I
Yes.
wanted that to come to fruition. I wanted it to see the light of day.
Yeah.
And instead
Yeah.
of getting that teaser trailer saying when it was
Mhm,
coming, and then
mhm.
you don't hear anything after that.
Yep.
Oh, you were really waiting for that one? Well, sucks to be you.
Yeah,
I mean,
Baron.
that's their attitude. That's their
But
attitude. That's their
Yeah.
attitude.
the one of the things I was looking forward to was the
Yeah.
multiplayer aspect to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even Devastation had some bad like camera angles too, which I didn't appreciate. It can be a fun game, but we got to have good camera angles too. Marvel Alliance 3 has some of that problem too. It might be better. I'll have to check it again on the Switch too, but that never got released for PC and people could have put in a mod for. But why do they have to put in mods for things that shouldn't be modded?
They shouldn't have to put in months. These publishers should take the
Man,
time
dude.
and make the effort to put in what these players want. And
Yes. Mhm.
speaking of the Transformers games, War for Cybertron and Fall for Cybertron, I saw
That's
somebody
true.
post a rumor yesterday on X saying that if Helix goes through, Activision wants to remaster those games. Don't wait for the new console to come out. Remaster it now. There's an audience
Yes,
out there that would love to
of
play a
course.
remastered version of those games.
Yes, remaster and make it
And,
look cool.
and
Don't.
give us
That's
give
right.
us give us the third one. Give us a proper third
Mhm.
one.
Right.
Yeah. And don't do it for a modern audience.
No.
No.
I mean, we're getting a better. It looks like a better He-Man game than a freaking movie. So I mean,
Oh, that movie looks so horrible.
but yeah, I mean, and like Helion mentioned Skyrim. I mean, yeah, and what's great about Skyrim is all the stuff that you can do, and there's actually choices that matter in that game. Oh no, you know, if they do a new Mass Effect, just follow a lot of the formula. I don't understand why a lot of these things are hard. They want to keep reinventing the wheel, but like a lot of the wheel is already there for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It's so ridiculous. Ugh.
If there's a blueprint and it's a successful blueprint, just like if there's a recipe that's been successful for years and years and years, don't change it. Don't take away an ingredient. Don't try to add an ingredient that takes away from what made
Right.
it what it was.
Yeah. And even that Godzillionaire, like Fallout, it has some good stuff, but even Phil, who's actually finished the games, I've played a lot of them, but I haven't finished any of them really. But Phil, who's actually finished some of the games, was like, yeah, that last episode, it's like a 6 out of 10. I'm like, yeah, there's a little bit too much going on in the second season, and there's a few things here and there like the brotherhood nonsense and stuff and the transgender character, but that has to be more important than, you know, or be very important still. I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, and Fallout 4 I think is still a good game. I think it's a solid game, but they just, I don't know what Bethesda's doing. They get lazy, and they're not the only ones. Yeah,
No,
the
no.
Warner Bros. Games too. It's like, what are you guys doing, man? We could get more games like Arkham Knight or Arkham Origins, and it doesn't have to just be Batman, but you could have Batman in it. You could even have a Nightwing Rising game. You guys could do all this kind of stuff. And if you're not, then just let the fans buy this, for fuck's sake. Seriously. Just let the fans find a way that the fans can buy this stuff. If you don't care enough and you want to just ruin these companies, just say the hell with it.
That's the problem. They don't care enough, Cash.
No, they don't.
No.
We could get a Batman Beyond game. I don't know if we ever did, but like there was a game that came out, I think it was on the Wii, that turned out really well, of Brave and the Bold. They can do this stuff. It's so frustrating, man.
Hell, we never had an actual good Justice League game.
Yeah.
Closest thing was Injustice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the Injustice Gods Among Us 1 and 2.
We had one back in the day. I think it was like 90s. No, I guess it would be early 2000s actually. And it was like based on the cartoon, but I don't know. It didn't turn out all that great. So they could do it better. And I agree. The Injustice games, fighting games, turn out really well, both of them. So yeah, they can do a lot of this cool shit, but they just don't. And they leave money always on the table. And they don't want to continue franchises that people want. They scrapped even Perfect Dark, but you saw like the strong chin. Here's the manly chin on a woman again. It's like,
I mean,
You're just threatened.
I'm threatened by the man chin on the woman.
I still remember playing Injustice Gods Among Us, and I was playing with a friend and his girlfriend. So there was a match. It was between me and his girlfriend, and neither one of us were letting up.
Nice.
And even he's like, "Geez, I don't want to get into the next match with either one of you."
Yep. I don't know, Godzillionaire. They are allowing the you can buy the old games, but yes, I'm sure people would like a new game of that. You know, like that whole, you know, because Capcom did that, so it's that Resident Evil type thing with dinosaurs. But of course, the story's different. Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
But speaking of changes to a major franchise, we're going into our final article here. So let me just play this. This comes from Slash Film. And there you see it in that headline. It says Transformers debuts a new Prime as Optimus no longer leads the Autobots.
Dun, da-dum,
Dun,
ba-da-da,
da, da,
da-da.
da, dun. Da, 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 da. All right, so now that the link to the article is in the chat, we'll go ahead.
So, just to run down quickly, brief one, what it's about. Optimus Prime retires and sits on the front porch yelling at kids to get off his lawn, and that's basically the issue.
Get off my energon fields.
It's like Gran Torino without the Torino.
What happened to Optimus Prime? He got tired of humans.
Alpha 2, I know where you live. You'll be getting a phone call, and I'll be speaking with your father later.
Writing letters to the editor. Back in my day.
Well, I will have something to say about this after we read the article. And I hope Darren and Cash chime in from what I've shown them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But who is this article by? This is by Devin Meenan, and it was posted on Friday the 13th.
Oh,
it says
unlucky.
Skybound's best-selling Transformers comic has taken big swings with Autobot leader Optimus Prime while staying true to the character. In the second issue of the series by Daniel Warren Johnson, Optimus took in the beauty of Earth and then accidentally stepped on and crushed a deer underfoot, showing how he values all life and teaching him Earth life is fragile. For most of Johnson's run, Optimus replaced his damaged arm with the stolen fusion cannon of Decepticon leader Megatron, reflecting how he must resist war corrupting his kind spirit. The latest issue, Transformers number 30, written by Robert Kirkman, drawn by Dan Mora, takes another big swing with Optimus Prime. Because he's no longer Optimus Prime, the Matrix of Leadership has chosen a new carrier, Elita 1, who now rises as the winged Elita Prime.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Elita 1 debuted in the comic's second arc, Transport to Oblivion, where the Decepticons brought Cybertron into Earth's orbit via space bridge. Elita briefly journeyed to Earth, trying to convince Optimus to return to Cybertron and help the desperate Autobots there. She failed, and since then, the comic has cut back and forth between Optimus Autobots on Earth and Elita's on Cybertron, which really is no different than how it was in the G1 cartoon, where Elita 1 did lead a small band of Autobots against the Decepticons.
Mm-hmm.
True.
In number 30,
back in the 80s, we never had that, though.
Yeah, 41 years ago. 41 years ago, folks.
Never in the 80s did we ever have anything like that. None.
Oh, no, not at all. In number 30, Elita returns to again make that request. Through our actions, we have brought about a means of utter destruction to this world, Optimus says. So the Autobots must defend Earth from the Decepticons. This time, Elita strikes Optimus, who won't hit back, and tries to rip the Matrix from his chest. And Elita tries to even goad Optimus to fight her, and he won't. The Transformers history of Elita 1 and the Matrix of Leadership. Unlike most Transformers characters, Elita 1 did not originate as a toy, as she is an original cartoon character in the Transformers Season 2 episode, The Search for Alpha Trion, which I sent Cash the link to that episode this morning when I saw his response on Discord. It's like, watch this. And then I found some other material.
It had been so long since I watched that episode. It's like, oh, right.
You had to calm Cash down. Calm down.
That's all right.
Calm
I wasn't
down.
that upset about it. I was just
Calmer
at
than
first.
Okay, Mike, how upset was he?
Oh, well, Cash, do you mind if I read what you said?
I wrote, I just was like, here comes the shit again. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. And then I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. Because it's been so long since I'd seen that episode. So I was like, oh, shit.
Okay. But it says in the Transformers Season 2, The Search for Alpha Trion, she was depicted as Optimus Prime's beloved who stayed behind on Cybertron to lead Autobot rebels. She's since become a recurring Transformers character and was played by Scarlett Johansson in the animated prequel film Transformers 1, which I thought was good.
It was good.
The comic has run with Alita leading the Autobots on Cybertron while Optimus fights on Earth, but made her relationship with Optimus more tense. This isn't the first time Optimus has been replaced as Prime, though. No, the first time happened in the 86 movie, with Hot Rod becoming Rodimus Prime.
The best ever.
They really foobarred the way they did it.
I know they did. I just did that because a certain troll who can't stand them.
I know. The original Optimus Prime. The original Judd Nelson was the voice of Hot Rod Rodimus Prime in the 86 film.
Yep. I said Hirschford, but it was like, oh, no, it's the other Judd. So I'm an idiot.
The original Optimus Prime famously died and traumatized kids in 1986's The Transformers, the movie. Do not grieve.
And now you know why.
Soon I will be one with the Matrix.
And now you know why Mike's the way he is.
Well, up until then, I'd never see one of my major cartoon characters die. Then they bring him back in a season 3 episode, Dark Awakening, and they kill him off again, only to bring him back for the season finale of season 3.
Can I just stay dead or what this?
But anyways, which introduced the Matrix of Leadership as a way for young Autobot Hot Rod, played by Judd Nelson, to ascend as Rodimus Prime. The Matrix is a nebulous MacGuffin in that movie, but later stories suggest it carries the essence of the Transformers' godly creator, Primus. Each Prime is essentially chosen by God to lead. Optimus and Alita's leadership conflict also helps mirror the Autobots and Decepticons. In Daniel Warren Johnson's preceding run, Megatron was MIA, Starscream led the Decepticons in the first arc, then Soundwave usurped him in the second. The third arc, Soundwave superior, Constructicons inferior. But it says the third arc, Combiner Chaos, was full-on Decepticon civil war that saw Seattle laid to ruin by the Mechanical Titans. That is, until Megatron finally returned.
What?
Holy Megatron leads! All others will follow! Unlike the Decepticons, the Autobots resolved the dispute peacefully and part as friends. About half the Autobots choose to return with Alita to Cybertron, and about half stay with Optimus on Earth, including Thundercracker, who recently defected from the Decepticons. Yes, they folks, they spoiled the last panel. It says, where does Skybound's Transformers comic go after Alita Prime? Since Alita Prime is the official Matrix chosen Autobot leader, Optimus team strikes out their Autobot insignias to show they technically aren't part of that faction anymore. Robert Kirkman's first arc of Transformers brought in several new Autobots such as Bulkhead, Mirage, Sideswipe, etc. This risked making the cast too big, so dividing the team now is a good way to keep it manageable. Moreover, this restores Optimus Autobots as the underdogs against the Decepticons. Back in issues 28 to 29, the Cons rescued 3 of their offline comrades, Dirge, Slipstream, and Blitzwing from the Autobot base, the Ark. Megatron is also mercilessly killed the Autobot Trailbreaker by devouring his spark, claiming he would bestow permanent death upon the Autobots. Since the Transformers are robots, dead ones can sometimes be revived with the right tune-up, but not if their spark is extinguished. Their spark is their life force, basically their heart, for anybody who doesn't know. They used to just call it the life force in G1, and then they started referring to it as a spark in later comic adaptations and also Beast Wars and Beast Machines. If the Optimus doesn't have the power or wisdom of the Matrix anymore, how can he hope to stand against Megatron? I'm going to put in my own fan theory on that. Because Optimus has been a part of the Matrix for so long, that knowledge is still within him. All right. So they say the Autobots might need some muscle. Notably, one of the Autobots who stayed behind with Optimus is Wheeljack, the Autobots' inventor. Back in issue number 25, he explored the cave system underneath the mountain that the Ark is buried in and came across a fossilized T-Rex skeleton. Could it be that they constructed Dinobots and meet Grimlock?
Ooh.
That seems like some pretty clear foreshadowing for Wheeljack creating the Dinobots as he did in the original Transformers cartoon. Well, it was Wheeljack and Ratchet.
Mm-hmm.
As for Alita's team, they'll face a familiar foe on Cybertron, Shockwave, the Decepticons' twisted scientist and guardian of Cybertron. Shockwave was seemingly killed by Optimus, crushing his head back in issue number 12, but issue number 27 revealed he still lives. Against Shockwave will Alita Prime. Will Alita Prime prove to be the leader the Autobots need? So that's their article for it. I can't really show too much of it because of copyright restrictions, but I'll show what I can, which, like I said, isn't much. But let me. Here's the cover art.
I didn't know there was a centerfold in these.
That's the cover, Baron.
Oh, bold.
Yes, let me try to get to. This is probably really the only panel I can really show.
Mm-hmm.
Alita, this is not the time. The Decepticons. Yes, every time I see a line from Prime, he sounds like Peter Cullen's Optimus Prime to me.
Mm-hmm.
But there you see that Alita's, she's frustrated. And I have read this. I showed this to Baron. I showed this to Cash. Alita is frustrated because she's been fighting the Decepticons on Cybertron for millennia, while Optimus and the other Autobots were in stasis. And, she's consumed by war. She's consumed by fighting all the time. Mm-hmm. And she thinks Optimus's place is back on Cybertron, leading the Autobots against their fight, to fight off the Decepticons. It's not to protect the people of Earth, but Optimus's point of view is we brought our war to Earth, and it's gravely affected the people of this planet. We have to do what's right, make what's right, end our war, and get it off this planet. So, spoilers, Alita 1 does concede that maybe she, was out of bounds, but Optimus says no, the Matrix chooses its leader, hands her the Matrix, she becomes the next Prime. Now, my thought is, and you all can disagree, but my thought is this is Optimus's way of saying, okay, fine. You think you know how to lead the Autobots. You think you can do a better job than I can. Well, here's the Matrix. Now go lead the Autobots and see how it changes you. See how difficult it is to be a leader. And Cash and Barrett, from what I showed you guys, during our off time, not our online time, but our off time before we started the stream. What did you think of the story from what I've told you guys as I was reading it and showed you guys?
Well, I came in a little bit later than at the time, but I hold to what I've always talked about when it comes around to the established legend, the IP, and whatnot. You have to stay within the lane. You can skirt the curb, but you stay in the lane still. Because if you just keep on going down the center of the road, it gets boring. You need to have something to shake things up, to keep it fresh, and to challenge the viewers, readers, whatever it is. This is a perfect example of that. And I'm totally on board with you on that one, Mike. It's like, well, fine. We're going to need to split our forces up. You're going to be on Cybertron. Probably it's more important that you have it. And let's see how it is with you being the leader. I'll just stay behind and do this little guerrilla warfare on Earth against the Decepticons. So how it fits into the world and everything perfectly. I mean, this has been a millions years long war between the two factions.
Yes.
So, if you get tired of the same old every week, well, congratulations. This is getting you off of that same old every week type of thing. Not that I'm saying Transformers was, but some shows are that bad. I mean, really, where it's like almost copy and paste and formulaic that way. Take the chance. Take a step. It looks like it's a good step. Let's see what they do with it now. Just because something like this happens does not make anything woke or for a quote unquote modern audience. No, it's called shaking things up. Just imagine, for those in Star Wars fans, the difference between Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. I mean, it was a major shakeup. Huge shakeup, but was still within those lanes. It wasn't a copy and paste type of thing from the first film to the second, which I'm sure a lot of people were expecting. And it fit. So this could be their Empire Strikes Back moment here. The split up team, everything is going according to the IP lore. I mean, granted, there has been many different variations of this.
Oh yeah, there's been many variations for the past 41 years, whether it be here in the States or whether it be in Japan.
And even between, because they're running simultaneously the comic book and the TV show. So, yeah, give it a chance. Don't, that's the one thing. Settle down, Hoss, out there. Just because someone on a channel said that, oh my God, I just heard that it's going to be woke, and don't take it as gospel. Right. Give it a chance. Take a look. And then did I bring this up now or did I say it off here? I can't remember. But I'll go back to Space Marine. We're told about, oh my God, it's going to be so woke. It wasn't. What was it? Another thing too. The same thing is like we look at each other and go, no, this isn't. You take a look at Nuremberg, and people were sitting back and say, "Oh, this is an assault on Trump." No. This is pretty much good old Heinrich Himmler. Not Heinrich. I mean, Hamming Getting, the Iron Fatty, the unfunny clown. So it's like I realize for 10 plus or so years we've been effed over, and just by taking a look at what our IPs and franchises are today. Whether it's Doctor Who, which I don't even recognize anything 2005 on.
Okay.
Even though it's kind of hard because I do like the Eccleston season. I like Eccleston. I think I think of all the new Doctors that they brought out, I think he was the best. And too bad he only had the one season and they pissed him off and he left the show. Russell T Davies, prick. The same thing with Star Trek. None of the stuff after Enterprise I consider Star Trek or part of Star Trek. Same thing with Star Wars. Basically, majority of Star Wars after Disney took over is like, no, this is crap. Right? I mean, there's some that oh yeah, it could probably fit in. It's pretty good. Like the first 2 seasons of Mando, but
sure.
So give it a chance, folks. I realize we've been humped like you can't believe. And of course, when they bring back some of these, and they have, just like earlier about the Scooby-Doo for a modern audience, wrong. And so just chill. We are at a point now in entertainment history. We're on the precipice of gaining back. No, like you were saying, Cash, about being edgy and whatnot. While we're going through the show, I was just going through Steam because of that one article about whatever. And there's a game coming out
that had the malware.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a game coming out that's called Woman Simulator. Right. Basically, you do the dishes, you do the clothes. I mean, obviously, this is a huge joke. Which, of course, the Karens of the world would all get all upset and all that.
Of course.
Again, we put in that category the political incorrect, toxic masculinity, holding the woman back type of thing. No, settled it. It's a joke. So we're getting back there.
Yeah.
Right. We're getting back there. We're taking and reclaiming, and there's always going to be some elements of that crap that we went through, but we're taking back and doing great. we're going to have fun. I mean, when you have several games out there making fun of Finnish life, making fun of the Polish life, going to the extremes of basically the hillbillies of Europe. And of course, it's the guys who basically fishing and drinking beer and getting into trouble. Quite the opposite of the Woman Simulator game. Again, going with the stereotypes and tropes. Why? For a laugh.
Right.
But one thing that we've also talked about on this channel is that if Hollywood or any of these companies do something good, then you acknowledge that they did something good. The moment they do something bad, you acknowledge that.
And never wish for them to go too bad.
No.
Never wish for them. We want good stuff. We want them to learn their lesson.
Yes.
And I read this issue from cover to cover. I'm curious to see where they go with this. What's going to happen with Optimus's group on Earth? What's going to happen with Alita's group on Cybertron? When is she going to have the epiphany that tells her, wait a minute, this is the burden hardest to bear that Optimus had to deal with on a daily basis?
Mm-hmm.
This leadership? They wouldn't have done this without Hasbro's approval.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And Hasbro, you would hope, has learned from that mistake 40 years ago.
Crossing fingers.
Yeah. But real quick, I do want to say hello to the Padawan wannabe who says, "Working on the thumbs." Hello, all. Good to see you, brother.
Yeah,
your
good to see you.
your version of Alito won, Godzillionaire. I love it.
Alita one is going to be too good of a leader that she's going to have to step down out of boredom.
It's great.
Maybe that's what Optimus is doing. Yeah, I'm bored. There you go.
Well, what does a good leader do to his subordinates? If the subordinate thinks that they can do the job better, all right.
That's right.
I'm putting you through a test. Prove it to me that you can be a better leader.
It's very easy to take things out of context, and trust me, I know there's a number of examples that prove that, they were right about this, but they're even these channels and other people, they're not always right about these things. Sometimes they are.
No.
Maybe it depends what it is. I mean, when it's in your face, like He-Man and some of this other stuff, yeah, you go.
Yeah, I didn't like Kevin Smith's He-Man.
Nope, me either. I had a lot of problems with it.
It was a departure from what we've been given before.
I think the only ones that liked it was Kevin Smith.
Yeah,
I think the only ones that liked it was Kevin Smith and Mark Hamill.
No, there were some other people I know who liked it. So yeah, they were. They like seeing Evil Lynn with her 6-pack and this and that. I know somebody who. It's weird. I just. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was, dude. Yeah, or was it 2002? I think.
2002, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, that was really good.
Mike Young Productions.
The old stuff. It's all really good.
You could actually watch it on YouTube.
Same with Thundercats.
No, not Thundercats Go. But if you talk about the 2011 Thundercats,
2011,
series, that was good too.
Yep, that one was really good too, and the art was great.
Mm-hmm. It took that series a little bit to get going, but once it got going, and you got to that last episode, it's like, come on, bring it on season 2. And then Cartoon Network says, nope, we're not bringing it on season 2. Sorry.
Yeah, we get that. It's the same thing with the Tron Uprising, all this stuff, and how Disney killed that show is just so outrageous, but they don't care. It's like, how do you know other people aren't watching this? Why do you hate on Tron like this? And then I think Tron in some ways is dead, actually, too. It's really crazy. I mean, I'm glad
Ares certainly didn't help.
No.
No.
That was a bomb, big time. Yeah, because at least Legacy made pretty good money from what I remember, but it did all right. But I don't know.
The one thing I just gotta say about all this is this: the ones that the wokey pokies and all that basically we're in battle with. Let's face it, not because we started a fight or wanted it. They're the ones. They pushed their way in. They invaded. They have that superiority complex. They think we're the most horrible things on the face of the earth.
Right.
And again, it's not political. It's just the fact that, they're, because, people on our side are, Republican, Democrat, Independent. It doesn't matter. Just don't give a damn. Right. So, we have that melting pot there because we all love these certain IPs, and they're quick to go out and basically be knee jerks. Our job is not to lower ourselves down to that level. We got to keep a good head. I know that there's enough people out there that are on YouTube. They want to do it because they want to be the clickbaiters and get people getting on their channel. They have the all the clickbait icons or whatever, placeholders for their videos and stuff like that. The big thing is we can't be knee jerk. We're all guilty of it, me included. I'm not going to put myself out of this,
right.
But we need to sit back and not be so knee jerk, especially when we hear, so and so on so and so knew a friend that was involved with so and so, that this is going to be the way, and it's going to be this way, and then everybody erupts into full-fledged derp mode. I mean, to be kind.
Yeah.
So I mean, don't be knee jerk. Take a couple breaths. Do your research. Don't believe all of us out there, even people that are our side. Uh, Tend to go down that rabbit hole of being clickbaiters because, well, you going to the channel, get some money.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But you shouldn't have to do that to have people come to your channel. You should be yourself,
No,
be
and
reliable,
I know someone,
and be honest.
and on that, Baron, I know someone could say, "Oh, you could have a lot more viewers, this, that, and the other if you talked about the popular articles." I don't want to go into that trap. Everyone else has already established their identity on YouTube.
Right.
Some of that stuff
I am establishing my own identity.
It gets
Well,
draining because it's just more popular stuff. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
we see some of that stuff is fine to talk about, but
Right.
other times it's good to find other things that people probably aren't talking about that can still be just as interesting.
And
Well,
that's what I try to do. It's like when I got wind of this Sunday night about Elita One becoming the Autobots' new leader, it had me curious because I was thinking, okay, it's Elita One. It's not a brand new character usurping
No.
Optimus Prime as the next Prime. It's an already established character. A
Yeah, it's
character
not a
that
Rodimus Prime.
a character that longtime Transformers fans know well enough. So let's see where this is going. And to do my further research, I actually bought the digital version of this issue. So I can read it for myself and judge it for myself. And when I got to the end of it, I want to see where issue 31 goes.
Right. And that's a good story. If it gets you intrigued, it's like, okay, what's in the next one? You know, if it keeps you like that and you are invested, they did a great job. If you have a hardcore fan of it, that is that way, you really did a good job.
And Pat, I want to be over on Rumble says, oddly enough, Jared Leto wasn't the worst thing about Tron Ares.
Well,
And Godzilla says Mike has established his identity as a stealth gamer master. Yeah, okay. Sarcasm.
It's great.
the stealthiest man on YouTube, Mike from Pacific414.
That's the problem with
Yeah,
also the anti woke crowd is they can be just as bad as the woke crowd. It's like, guys, we want to be better. Isn't that the whole point?
Right.
We don't want to be the same. We don't want to put out this information of stuff that's all these people do it. The clickbait. Oh, this person's getting fired, and not just Kathleen Kennedy, but other people. And it's like, do you really have the proof of this? No, you just want to get people
By the way,
upset.
I got a rumor that Kathleen Kennedy's out at Disney. Just want to share that.
Yes, Baron, we've already discussed that.
Uh,
We discussed that long ago.
I know.
That was another thing. I was waiting until that news was official before we actually spoke of it.
that's right.
Because we heard it so many times. It's like, I'm not going to talk about this until it's official.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's the whole thing. I mean, it's just crazy. I don't want to jump on this stuff. And some of these bigger channels, of course, they talk about the same stuff for like 5 weeks or something, or at least a whole week. It's crazy.
Oh, hell, Megatron! Yes, the long suffering is a loyal Decepticon.
She loves watching Decepticon at the Universal. You know, when they have them come out and
Yeah, with the guy who's Megatron, I think it's Universal Studios Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
He's
I think
Megatron.
it's Hollywood. Yeah.
Yeah,
and he just
cool
roasts
ride.
the people. He just roasts.
Yeah, he is great. He is great. And you know it's off the cuff because you know he's right there. It's like whoever's doing Megatron is super. He is fantastic.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think Universal does give their cast members a little bit more freedom.
Well,
Yeah, no,
they
that-
have to.
Yeah, that's
That
true.
was-
But he definitely has other takes too, I have to say. But yes, Godzillionaire. I mean, that's the whole thing. People saying this is dead, this is dead. Well, I mean, it's still going on, but in terms of where it's going and how much money it's losing, we can say a lot of this stuff's on life support. Like Doctor Who may actually be dead right now. Trek
Yeah.
might end up being dead to an extent. And
What do you mean to an extent? Starfleet Academy is the perfect proof that the franchise, as it currently is dead.
oh man,
You want a little raging on a certain topic? Talk to me about Star Trek. I'll tell you the current state of Star Trek because of the current shows.
See, Mike's all upset because he didn't sing all the praises for Dawson's Academy, so he didn't get the swag bag from Paramount, and he
I
didn't
would
get
have
that
never,
wonderful
I would
Klingon
have never
dress.
made it through 10 episodes,
dude,
Darren.
Mike is not going to
That-
sell
he-
his soul for that. What the hell?
Yeah, but he didn't get that wonderful Klingon dress, So.
Oh jeez.
Baron, this is directed toward you and only you. It's directed toward nobody else watching the stream, whether it be live or recorded. Only toward Baron Orman Tagge. Starscream right here. This is only directed toward him.
He said, "Today is a good day to die."
I couldn't
Oh
resist.
man.
I couldn't resist, man. No, but you know what? The franchises as they are dead. The old stuff isn't, and that's the thing we need to get on board on. Separating the two. Lucas's Star Wars, classic Doctor Who from 63 to 89. I'll include in the 86 movie. Or 96 movie, I mean, my apologies. Star Trek up to Voyage to Enterprise. Now we need to separate those from the new stuff. So those properties aren't dead.
No.
The bastardizations that came afterwards are.
Yeah.
Because the old ones still hold up. You can still watch them. Can still enjoy
even
them.
the shills for stuff like they can't even ignore it anymore. IGN and these people, so things are really bad when they can't ignore it and they said, "Oh shit, you know what? This is not." Wait, did IGN like Starfleet Academy? I can't remember. Let me check. Fucking hell.
Yeah, you're right. Tubi's got a lot of great stuff.
Oh, you don't really need the big streaming services with Tubi out there.
No, you don't. Tubi has
you got the commercials, but I can live with it.
Yeah.
But Tommy, I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about Alita 1 becoming the new Prime? And I want you to be honest with me, Tommy. I would recommend reading the issue.
No, coming from Mike, that says a lot too. I'll back on that one. If he says it's worth it, it's worth it.
I'm not going to tell people you should watch this show, you should watch this movie, read this comic book, play this game to get clicks and views. It's coming from the heart when I say that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to bullshit people because I don't like it when people bullshit me.
Mm-hmm. Like I just did earlier too, Mike. Got that response.
I mean, you look at this, mentioning the Starfleet Academy nonsense. It's like 4.4 out of 10 for user reviews on IMDb.
Too high, way too high.
Right.
Yeah, you could have all the rumors that Paramount Skydance isn't even going to air the second season. They're going to do what Warner Brothers did with Batgirl. But still, even with Batgirl, I'm curious to know how bad was it that they decided to shelve it.
Yeah, I want it out. I want it out there. Come on,
yeah, me too.
Do the finish of it. Just do whatever little finishes you need, and then put it out there because we do love good train wrecks.
Yeah. Michael Keaton's like, I don't know what's going on. I got a paycheck. He said that recently. I just laughed. It's so funny.
Yeah.
They got paid. Who cares, right?
Yeah.
Right, exactly. He's not doing it for free.
Nope.
No, he's not doing it just because everybody likes him as Batman.
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt because it means the man keeps him working and he gets a paycheck. You know, it's like, hey, you know. But you know, we need to relax a little bit, take some breaths, and not fly off the handle. I don't want us to become like them.
No, I don't
at all.
I agree.
And I want us to be better than them. We have the arguments. They can't handle the arguments. It's not even worth having an argument with them because you lay out what it is and then they'll come back with the same old BS, you know, istful, blah, blah. It's like, okay, fine, I'm done talking with you. And in fact, it's like, I'm not even going to talk to you because I know what you're going to do. You're not worth my time. You know, to have a conversation like this, you have to have some decorum of respect or even courtesy. And I know that you're not worth it. So, and the fact that you're more than happy to go out there and blindly insult me and call me some of the worst names there are on God's green. Now, it doesn't bother me much. But the thing is, when you're dropping the National Socialist on there, you know, you're sitting back saying, oh, I like to watch Jews put into boxcars and sent to camps and have showers and things like that. And I want people, you know, exterminated. You know, when you say that word and calling us that is one of the worst things. You are now open to my complete and total disdain of you. And I can call you any fucking thing I want.
Yep.
And will.
Yep.
And that's why I say these assholes are not true fans. Because that's their only response. The most anti-Star Trek thing you could ever freaking do is to go out and call us old people, us old timers, as they view us, or whatever, the National Socialist word.
And one of my biggest criticisms of Voyager was the fact that there was rarely a time where the ship was depleted in resources and you saw hull damage on the ship.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wanted to see that because that ship and its crew were far away from Starfleet. They were suffering in the fact that they were low on deuterium.
That's true.
To help to keep the drive going. They had problems with their dilithium crystals. The hull, it was always pristine from week to week.
Right.
No.
Where's the patch job? Where's the start? You know?
IGN defended this Starfleet Academy a lot. So did Collider. So more
the typical news outlets that will defend it.
Variety did. Wall Street Journal at least gave it only a 70, though. I think that's too high.
Way too high.
Yeah.
No, they're busy licking the windows and while they're at it, kissing the butts.
Hollywood Reporter gave it a 70. Los Angeles Times gave it a 70. TV Guide, which is still around, which is fine, gave it a 65.
Yeah, but they're only an online source. Right. You don't get the TV Guide.
Guardian gave it a 60. Anymore. Roger Ebert gave it a 60. TV Line gave it a 58, which is probably more, probably even lower than that. Screen Rant gave it a 50. San Francisco Chronicle gave it a 50. IndieWire gave it a 42. Yeah, so there's some nasty ones out there.
Yeah. Still not low
and
enough.
It's at 1.7 for user reviews on Metacritic. So what does that tell you?
And you know, getting back to Alita 1 becoming Alita Prime and Optimus just being Optimus, I don't think it's gonna last too many issues. I think at some point Optimus will be able to reclaim the Matrix.
It'll just be interesting to see the road to it.
And again, I think Alita's going to have a better understanding of what Optimus had to go through on a daily basis, dealing with not just the war on Cybertron, but also dealing with everything on Earth. And if I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong.
Hey, like you said, it's got a good start.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a good start, and we've seen a lot of good starts out there that fizzled out. Let's hope this is not the case.
I hope it won't be, but you'll hear me rant if it turns out to be the other way.
Mm. Oh,
Because
I'm with you.
I also have no problem with a female lead.
No,
I have no problem with a female captain, but
Nope.
you have to do it right.
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
You can't shoehorn this in, and
No.
with the way they did it in this first issue, it's not shoehorned. Optimus even tells the leader, "You don't just gain the leadership by taking it from me."
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because banter and other stuff has gone out the window with a lot of this writing and so on. And I know there's people out there who says, "Oh, they're talentless," and they're that. It's just their ideas and their egos and all this other stuff that it all contributes. And it's like, no, we need more good banter all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's important.
Well, they're just so used to. I need that. I need that. I need that. Give it to me. Okay, you're a woman. Here you go. Boom.
Right.
And
Exactly.
no, this is something where you actually had debate, discussion between the two, trying to explain. And isn't that what we want? We want to have that. That's the drama that we want.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This will be character growth for Elita One. Don't we want to see all our characters, well-established characters, still continue to grow and learn?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Optimus has learned everything he needs to know at this point.
Yeah.
Now it's time for someone else to learn.
Mm-hmm. To help shoulder the responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to be having a two-front war, you can't split that matrix in half. It's got to go to one person or another. Logically, taking the war back to Cybertron, the person who's going to do that should probably have that. But it's got to go to the right person.
Mm-hmm. And again, if I'm wrong, you'll hear me say it here on Pop Talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And please, I don't want that day to happen because I don't know if I can handle that diatribe. He'll be lit. He'll be lit.
Well, I mean, I know Cash has it up right now, but it won't be Michaelmas Prime up there. It'll be Megatron. Yes. Oh, my loyal Pacificons.
Hey, you know what? You should almost that should be renamed for your membership stuff. The Pacificons. I like that.
It's not bad, actually. Yeah.
No,
It is. Yeah.
I should, but I got to decide which level gets it. Are you loyal to the Pacific414 Huz? Then you are a Pacificon now. Oh, come on, I'm a dork.
I love it.
Yeah, we know. I was going to say I created the monster. I like it.
I even said it last night when I was playing Metal Gear. I'm a dork.
Metal Gear.
Because I'm fighting a boss who's voiced by Michael Bell, who's done many voice roles throughout his career. But I mentioned that he was Duke in G.I. Joe, and then in Transformers he was Sideswipe, and he was also Bombshell. And the way the character crawls around, I was calling him an Insecticon because the character of Bombshell was an Insecticon. So I was just having fun last night, and that's what you should do.
Really? Is that? Oh, okay. I better start working at that. I like having fun.
You do work at it, especially when you start talking about other things.
Hey, you gotta admit, that dress one was funny. That was good.
I mean, Sunday, I could hear the excitement in your voice about the fact that they found some lost episodes of the original Doctor Who.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, I'm excited. This is major stuff. That's major stuff.
Yeah, that's another thing that they want to do is erase things like, oh well, there was only 14 episodes of Planet of the Apes, so let's just let's see how far we can erase this. It's like, what?
Well, you got to understand the BBC, the morons over there. Back in the day, there was they didn't do really any reruns at all. It was a rare thing. Doctor Who during the Patrick Troughton did have a rerun where they showed the evil of Daleks again to try to express upon Zoe what they are facing out there, which is kind of funny because they just took care of the Cybermen. But other than that, but it was under that guise that we're going to show you a little history clip here. Other than that, for the shows, it was like you either saw them first run or never. So they have all these tapes, these recordings, these films sitting around, and after a while, it's like we're full up. Let's start weeding this stuff out. We're not going to use it again. Not having the foresight of the fact that the video movement will be coming and people will want to watch these over again. People hear about these shows, but it's like, well, we never get to see them. Well, because you never air them. It's like all these great shows like Steptoe and Son, Zed Cars, Patrick Troughton's Robin Hood, and stuff like that. A for Andromeda, and they say, oh, brag, 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 and they have the ability or had because A for Andromeda is all wiped, sadly, as is the Troughton Robin Hood. But it's like, well, just don't tell us, show us. But the BBC and government-run morons and window lickers never did that. They didn't think there was an interest in reruns, and even though the Americans showed that, yeah, there is a need. You can thank Lucille Ball for that because of the episode when she was, towards the end there, where it was hard for her to do the acting because of the pregnancy. It was her and Vivian Vance in there recollecting about things that happened in the past, and then they run that episode that they're doing the recollection about. And of course that was the rerun and how Star Trek took off because of reruns,
exactly,
and whatnot. But of course, the BBC again, because it's government-run window lickers, couldn't comprehend that. That's the British money put to good use, folks. That's why they pay the TV tax. And they, and of course, Americans TV is the same way, because when the DuPont network went under and such, and their library is bought, there was so much of the DuPont, virtually the DuPont network shows are all wiped out. We're lucky to have the Honeymooners. We are lucky to have that. And I think that's because Jackie Gleason had something to do with it. Other than that, that would have gone the way of most of the DuPont network shows that they had.
Yeah, so, a lot of that stuff's in syndication. They can't. Lucy has been in syndication all over the place. Now it's on the Norman Lear comedy channel or whatever.
Lucy's timeless.
And I'm not a big fan of Lucy. I'll watch it, right? But it's not one of my go-tos. But I recognize it for what it is. It's a very important piece. It's like okay, oh, it's not okay. I'll just watch it, no problem.
But yeah, I mean, and the whole thing with Doctor Who, even if it's a woman, whatever it is, like the whole thing is Doctor Who needs to feel like Doctor Who. He needs to make the final say. He's a freaking Time Lord. The Daleks, even in the later episodes, were still menacing, still intimidating, as they should always be. That's the Daleks. It's those are things that are not supposed to be fun.
Mean-spirited pepper pots.
Right. They're evil, and so they had all these different kind of episodes, even with the later ones, until of course Whittaker that. Things
Jodie
really started falling apart. Jodie,
she only had one expression.
Just everything started falling apart. It's like, but every other doctor before that had different expressions. They always made the final say.
Now the thing is, though, Mike, you got to give her some credit in her acting ability. That one expression was always, it was basically, it looked like she was getting a prostate exam, and for a woman, it's amazing. That's amazing because how would they know? But she had that look of a prostate exam.
It's
Gotta give her that acting chops there. I think it's because she and David Tennant are friends.
Yep, Star Trek.
And he likes cross-media
Trek. Yes.
I love Star Trek. I love Transformers. Oh my god.
Transformers. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I mean, they did all this stuff like Eccleston. You mentioned, like, yeah, a lot of these people. Peter Capaldi. Yeah. I liked him. Like, he was sarcastic, but he still felt like the Doctor. Even even that guy who turned into a weasel, they all felt like the Doctor.
The weasel.
But until David Tennant.
Yeah, David Tennant. I was never a fan of David Tennant.
I know, I understand, but they all still made the final decision. They all had. Yeah, go ahead.
Stephen Moffat ruined Capaldi's run.
Yeah. Obviously, it's just somebody obviously ruined that, and like you were saying, Baron, it's like, oh, we needed a younger Doctor. No, we don't. We need a badass Doctor. We don't need.
Right.
It's stupid.
I mean, yeah. Yes. I mean,
Capaldi's a really good actor too. The guy is not just one-dimensional.
And a huge Doctor Who fan. I mean, this guy wrote a fan letter that got noticed back in the day during the Pertwee years. And, you could kind of see some of his dress, was kind of Pertwee-esque, a little bit more, except for when he was wearing the hoodies and stuff like that.
He was Godzilla.
The thing is,
yeah.
But the thing is he was done dirty.
Yeah.
They did stupid things with this character, with the Doctor, with him that they shouldn't have.
Not surprised. Fortunately.
I mean, Eccleston and Capaldi, they should have been back to back. And of course, Doctor Who, not whatever is that Russell T Davies was trying to, shit on. And of course, same thing with Moffat. And of course, we're not going to, even talk about chin balls.
Yeah.
What? What was that? I've already forgotten about him.
No. He is forgiven. And, so that's the thing. The first thing with Davies is let's do everything with agenda, and that's not Doctor Who.
Right. No, it's not.
You get the best to do the job.
Definitely not.
Well, just like with Alex Kurtzman, he thinks that science fiction is all about agenda.
Right. Stupid.
Doctor Who,
and it's not.
Right. I mean, yeah, there was stuff in there. The Green Death, John Pertwee. That was an environmental eco episode. Because, of course, a lot of people that were involved with Doctor Who were, concerned about that, especially Dr. Kit Pelder. I can't remember how to say it. Like one of the guys that created the cyber.
I mean, even in anime, dude, there's stuff about climate. We've seen stuff. Yeah. They talk about that.
Well, the mutants, which is now known as well, the mutants, which is now known as the Daleks. Now that was doing a warning about atomic war, and on the planet you had the Dals and the Thals. Yeah, that was before they became Calids. They were the Dals, and the nuclear war, it caused them to mutate down, and the Thals to mutate up. But the thing is Scarl's a dead radioactive planet. It was, they're addressing atomic war, but they had more to say than that. Genesis of the Daleks kind of followed through with that, showing about the, that never-ending war, the hatred between peoples, the betrayal, stuff like that. A great classic episode. I'm sure any Doctor Who fan, real Doctor Who fan, I should say, has seen Genesis of the Daleks more than once.
Well, Doctor Who also had smart assistants too. I mean, look at the spin-off of Torchwood. Look at how much greatness was in that. I mean,
that's New Who. I don't really count that.
Oh, okay. Well, Torchwood was surprisingly really good.
Yeah. Well, no, really, I mean, but
that's like get get that repulsive new away from me.
The repulsiveness.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no,
Yeah, and
yeah,
repulsive,
it's just,
yeah.
and yeah, I agree with you, Godzillionaire. There's things like David Tennant; he can be a really good actor. I mean, yeah, he was really good as the villain in Jessica Jones. He did a quality job as Uncle Scrooge, not as great as what is it, Alan Young? Was
No,
it?
Yeah,
Alan Young,
Alan
yeah.
Young was the original voice.
I want to make sure I got that right.
He was
Yeah,
also the voice of Mr. Ed.
that's awesome.
He was Wilbur.
Oh, what Wilbur? Oh,
He was Wilbur. Yeah.
but you know, they
I
just
stand corrected.
they do this stuff, and even like the Joey Whitaker stuff, her version of Doctor Who, whatever, even her assistants and stuff were like, oh, what should we do? Oh, I don't know. What should we do? Oh, I don't know. What should? It's like, you know, somebody should do something.
Well, you know, when Doctor Who first started out, really the Doctor wasn't quite the main guy when you had like the Unearthly Child and of course 10,000 BC, you know, when they went back in time.
No, a lot of people call the companions.
Yeah, it was it was basically Ian and Barbara, who were a math teacher and a history teacher. So they're very educated. They you know, they were using Doctor Who as a tool to help learn along with other things. But as the show went along, especially when they left, our more importantly, Susan, his granddaughter, left. You know, the focus started coming more and more on the Doctor, and you know, the Doctor was very much the center figure of the whole thing as it went along. But you can see in that Unearthly Child and such that the focus was kind of around them being thrown into this situation, our eyes into that universe. But here you had two companions that were very educated, as was Susan, except she was young, so she was naive, but she was brilliant, as they sat back and said. So it's like, what do you do with someone that knows everything but doesn't know? You know, they don't have that wisdom, the knowledge of life, but she knows, you know, everything else about it. When you move on there, you had Zoe, who was a match for the Doctor in Patrick Troughton's era. You had, of course, Liz Smith, who was John Pertwee's first assistant. In fact, she lost a job because she was way too, on par with the Doctor. So Elizabeth Sladen came in as Sarah Jane Smith, who was the first. You know, they were trying to get more into that feminist, stronger woman type of thing with her. The Romanas, you know, again, they're time ladies. They're very smart and intelligent. Even Leela, but you know, she had the savage knowledge and such, and her thing was naivety. You know, she came from a savage world, from a savage tribe, and the Sevatin, the survey group team. And but you know, the thing is she was no dummy. It's just that, you know, she's a fish out of water. You move on to Nyssa. Nyssa again, another intelligent companion with that was able to be contributing to it. And then of course you had Ace, who was a streetwise, you know, and a tough streetwise, and fit with Sylvester McCoy's Doctor quite well. So, you know, to sit back and say the Doctor never had intelligent companions, and more importantly, none of the women were, well, you just insulted Mary Tam. You just insulted, all these others, you know, that played a lot of these characters. Yeah, some of them were ditzy. I mean, you know, you kind of had Jamie, which was kind of a lighthearted, but you know, he had a Scotsman thrown into this whole situation, so he had naivety, but he also had a lot of pep. He had spunk. Which kind of made whether it was Jamie, the Doctor, and Victoria, or Jamie, Doctor, and Zoe, made a great triumvirate with each other. Each one had their own strengths and whatnot, and you know, and of course, Doctor being challenged by Zoe. I mean, who would ever thought that, you know? But no, it happened. It happened. That's why these shows were so great. And people just take, you know, they think of Perry, who was basically all boobs, nice butt, and screams a lot. I mean, yeah, she was brought in for eye candy, the 80s eye candy.
Sure.
Leela was kind of brought in for the same thing, but the thing is she was also very tough. She was still a strong character.
Yep.
So let's expel that bullshit.
Yeah.
Let's expel it, and that's why I'm so excited to see this, because you have those 2 episodes. These should never have been lost. Damn you, the BBC. And I'm not just upset about Doctor Who. I'm upset about many shows that got lost.
Yeah.
And what a wealth of entertainment we could have. I mean, several of Tony Hancock shows are missing, who is one of the great comedians over there. And it was always bothered me that when, BritBox would never have this stuff on there. Where was Z Cars? Surviving episodes of Z Cars, where you had Brian Blessed back then. You had Julian Glover. You had Picard's brother. I got him in a block on his name, but he was on that show. All these people that were starting out being on the show, and Z Cars was very popular. It was a cop show a cop show in a fictional British town. So think of it like Hill Street Blues of its day back at that time, because they were dealing with all sorts of issues, from police abuse to private life that what cops were going through, corruption. It was a gritty show. And Z Cars, because Z is how they say Z over there, kind of a nickname for the Fords that they were driving, for the cop cars. But put these things on BritBox. I don't care about a lot of the new shit that you're putting on there. I want to see. I want to see what you have surviving of Tony Hancock. If any of your Benny Hills survived from BBC before he went over the Thames.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping for a lot of that. I mean, it took a while for them to get Blake Seven on there, for crying out loud. What about Moonbase 3? That they did back in the 70s, about the same time as Doctor Who, by the people who were involved with Doctor Who. What about Doom Watch? That was the show, the Eco show that I was talking about, that the people from Doctor Who creators.
Well, that's why the Sci-Fi channel itself should be full of all these old shows, not just a few, but a bunch of old shows. And why not try some new stuff? Yeah.
Well, see, the funny thing is, back in the day, that's where I did see Moonbase 3. The 6 episodes that they did was on the Sci-Fi channel, and only once. And again, that was chock full of so many stars that you would recognize in a heartbeat, because they were in the genre and then some. So, yeah, I'd like to see a lot of this stuff come back. I know it doesn't have those high production values, but you know what? I don't give a shit.
No, I think why don't they find a network for stuff like Brothers and stuff like you showed me? I mean, all you can find it on YouTube now. I mean, maybe it's somewhere else, but it's probably on some other site that archives this stuff. And that's the other thing. Like, if these companies aren't going to archive this stuff, somebody's going to take it upon themselves to do it anyways. So. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, isn't that the caveat? They complain about the high seas.
Right.
But yet people are demanding they want to see it. The reason why they're going to the high seas to get it out there is because they want to see it. But then the studios complain about it because they're not releasing it.
Right.
And you're stealing money from us. How are they stealing money from you? Because you don't have it out there. If you had it out there, the sailors... The sailors are showing you that there is an interest. You would be getting money.
That's right. They would. Yeah. So it's just stupid.
Right.
But yeah, they want these things lost. Certain things, no. Other stuff, yes. The networks, I'm sure, and the CEOs and the people, they're not interested in Brothers. They're not, are you sure about that? Why don't you put it somewhere? Why don't you, not just because I'm sure there's people right now probably are watching Brothers. Who knows? But
Brothers is a threat to them, because it was dealing with themes of homosexuality, especially within the family, and a well-written and funny way. And this is, you talk about the late 80s that this is all happening. oh no, we didn't have that understanding back in the day.
Right.
We avoided that. We're gonna forget about Billy Crystal being gay on soap.
That's right.
It's like
Gosh.
it's,
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, again, it's like
Yeah.
it's convenient how they forget these characters, or more than
Yes.
likely they shove them in the in the corner, so and say there's nothing to see here, so they can have this lament that we've been horrible people in the past, and only now are we enlightened.
Right. Yeah, I know. It's so annoying. It really is annoying. But yeah, all these shows, some of the stuff they just want to go away. They don't, and it would break their narrative, like you said, Baron. It would break their narrative completely, and they would look like legitimate fools. Not that they don't, anyways, but yeah, it's hard to find stuff like Bosom Buddies and other stuff. Things were really funny. I mean, Laverne and Shirley, of course, and some of this other stuff. Yeah. Happy Days, of course. I'm happy that's still around, but it's just. But other stuff like Brothers, I bet there's other stuff like Brothers out there too. That is just they want these things to go away for good. Yeah.
Right. Well, you have Bizarre, but that was a bit risque. You had the Gary Shandling show.
Oh, yes, that's right.
This is the theme of the Gary show, the opening theme, the Gary show. Gary called me up and asked if I could do the theme. I mean, right there. So that theme song, you got an idea where the show was going.
Yeah, and Gary Shandling was a talent. Unfortunate that we lost him.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so sad.
He was he was a great show. Yeah.
HBO had First and 10 about football and everything that was all around football.
Well, ESPN, of course, they had that great Playmakers show about the steroids and different things the players are. And, of course, the NFL got mad after a while. You guys take that show off. And I'm like, oh, is it too close to home?
Yeah, the thing is, the First and 10 dealt with all that stuff in the 80s and I think into the 90s. But, I mean, it was, it was out there. It was... we had these things.
Yes.
And they're still out there. They're just not out there. And we need to have this stuff brought to us. I mean, when you have all these freaking streaming services, and, we don't need to have Lucy on 15 streaming services.
No.
We don't need to have some of these other shows on 15 streaming services.
Right.
What we need to do is start bringing some of these out and showing what was, the evolution of television, how people were looking at things, how they're addressing things. But again, it's a threat. Why? Because it's good. There was a time when the network would actually play the failed pilots as a special one-off.
Why not?
I saw many a pilot back in the day because of that. And only once. It's like, can we have that again, please? I'd like to see that again.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that from all
pilot
shows. Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
it'd be nice.
And you wonder why didn't it take off? So this is what we're facing, and this is where I think all of us here. Let's quit with the freaking culture war right now. The best attack, because that was my basis of doing my channel that I need to really get back into. And now I'm starting to get fired up. Maybe I really will now. About talking about the past stuff. We need to go out there and start rattling these assholes and window lickers to release all this stuff that's sitting in the vaults that are collecting dust.
And don't just release it on digital.
Well, I wish we could get convince Disney to say, look, the only thing you really don't have on Disney Plus is Song of the South, as far as I know. There might be a few other things, but I'm pretty sure that's it. Yet you have Rescuers, you have this other stuff, so why not Song of the South? Oh, because no, don't play these games.
They don't even want to make their own Song of the South. They got rid of Zippity Doo at the parks.
Right. Remember, they have to put warnings in front of Sid and Marty on the freaking Disney Plus. And I just want to address Tommy. You know what was even more freaking awesome? Benson.
Oh, Benson was a
Benson was a
good
great
show.
show.
Really good
Wait a
show.
moment. A show that has a
Mhm.
black man in the lead in the 70s? No.
And
No,
a shapeshifter as a co-star.
yeah.
Yeah. And and not only that, he was smart and the character was, again, a real person.
Well played
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Robert Guillaume. Yeah,
Look,
rest his
like,
soul.
it's so crazy to me up until like probably before like 2010, maybe somewhere around there. Like a lot of these sitcoms, you go back and watch them, and so I mean, Living Single, excuse me, hilarious. But that show's okay. It's not one of my favorite, but there's some other shows like the Jamie Foxx show I brought up. Like, but it's like you watch this stuff, and it's always the same thing. Could they do this same kind of jokes now? Probably. Would they have the balls to? Would they be like, okay, fuck it, we're just gonna do it. We're gonna do these kind of jokes again, and these values again. There's barely any shows anymore that has good family values, which is very just
Because they're trying to get rid of
That's
the
right.
nuclear family.
That's right. I know. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah, and they got rid of the
see
family
it in
night.
the media every day.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's just like values in their shows. It's funny, like Moesha, the Parkers, there's values. It doesn't matter who wrote it, who's in it. There were values. And it's really disappointing to see, and just like stuff being erased. But yeah, I wish we could convince Disney to actually be like, look, just put Song of the South on there. You're going to make a lot of people happy, okay? But they won't do it.
Perpetrating the lie.
Seriously,
Perpetrating
just
a
stop.
lie, and it's a lie.
Black people actually worked on this show, and I read stuff recently or a year ago, something like that. They were very happy to work on this show. Very happy.
Yeah.
We
And
talked
did-
about it on
and
Pop
Walt-
Talk a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
a
it's
few times.
it's
And
great.
Walt Disney stood with them in solidarity out in front
Right,
of the theater
right.
because they wouldn't let him in. So Walt was out there with them.
Yep. Yeah, remember Family Matters, Black Family Husband. Yeah, right.
Yep.
Cop, yeah, huge home. Yeah, Phil likes to get involved in that. He thinks that by the 90s, a lot of these fathers have become really stupid, and it wasn't like back in the day. I said, well, that they were bumbling idiots. I said, I don't know. Carl Winslow was still pretty smart, and he gave his son and his daughters some really good values, so I don't know about that one. Same with
Even with Steve Urkel, he still gave Steve advice.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. So I don't know. I think, I mean, Phil might have a point to some extent that Carl Winslow was kind of a bumbling idiot and Harriet was smarter, but I don't know.
I don't think Carl was a bumbling idiot.
No.
I think they realized what dynamic worked, and it was Carl and Steve.
Right, exactly. So I'm not exactly on board with that one of Phil. I kind of see where he's going, that the father was maybe smarter with the other older shows, Leave It to Beaver and these ones, but things change, and sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse, but yeah. And I think Family Matters is still a great show, but it's also a spin-off. If there's no Perfect Strangers, there's no Family Matters.
Well, also don't forget that if there's no Full House.
Right, true. So,
well, how many things were spin-offs? He didn't realize they were spin-offs,
Right, exactly. Godzilla. They call it Dad for Jokes for a reason. Yes. Yep. So, but we just don't have a lot of this stuff anymore. Like I said, the Sci-Fi Channel, if somebody was smart about it, they would put all kinds of old shows on there. It wouldn't just be movies. Oh, look, all the Harry Potters on here. Great, whatever. That's fine, whatever. But still Haven and some of these other shows that were newer, or these older stuff, not just newer Twilight Zone, but more older stuff, older shows, older sci-fi, Stargate. It's hard to find this stuff now. So
I think Stargate's on Comet TV.
Is it?
And that's where she's seeing. Yeah. And there's an app for Comet, so you can download the app for Comet. Babylon 5 was on Comet for a while. before it went on to Tubi. So yeah, you have what was it? No, Stargate, the various series, and I'm trying to remember what else they were showing the death on there. Basically, it seems like those were the only science fiction shows that can.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so crazy, but they used to try with this sci-fi stuff. It's like, do we want things like Sliders to come back? Yeah, Sliders was a fun show, but like I don't remember, it's been so many years ago, but and I'm not even going to get, well, what I heard from Jerry O'Connell recently on Bill Maher's little podcast show. I was like, oh boy. But yeah, I don't it's just weird. It's like, put these old shows on here, man. Like, people obviously want to watch them. Even younger people like Spock. He's looking for this stuff. The Planet of the Apes. He has to buy it on DVD because I don't know if it's ever been released on Blu-ray, and some of this stuff isn't, or 4K or whatever it is. Yeah.
Funny they should bring up Jerry O'Connell. I mean, why isn't My Secret Identity? Him and Derek McGrath.
Oh, yes, right.
On there. Yeah.
My gosh, dude. Where's Parker Lewis Can't Lose? Like, I mean, these were quality shows. Come on.
Right.
Why aren't they in reruns? You got this other stuff. Put it on. They're not even on like some of this stuff on streaming. So put it on there. You guys want people to spend money on your subscriptions. Put a lot of great older shows on there and continue to do it.
Right.
More.
I mean, I used to watch. I used to watch My Secret Identity.
Yeah, of course.
It was amusing. I mean, it's good. It's a good, for like the teenage and stuff like that. I mean, if you want shows that way, and I think it could grab an audience.
Yeah.
I mean, it's far better than the stuff that we're getting on the Wizards of Waverly Place or whatever, and all the other shit that Disney and Nickelodeon were doing.
And the funny thing about that, if you ever watch the original, like they changed some things from this new series from the old one. It was just fun. And so these shows were just fun. That's what they're supposed to be, is fun. Sweet Life on Deck was fun. Children and families and whatever can all enjoy this stuff. But Disney doesn't do a lot of that stuff. Same with Nickelodeon. It's crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
again, they're trying to get away from the nuclear family, and that's been the wrong direction for a lot of shows. Even Star Trek was still a family show.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, How I Met Your Mother, like that was a really good show. It's just that ending. I mean, maybe you liked it, Helion, but that ending was just like, I'm not feeling this. But a lot of the other parts of the show, I mean, there was a lot of funny stuff going on. Barney, he was so funny. It's funny.
Well, I mean, you take a look at it. Married with Children is the perfect dysfunctional family show. I mean, there was still, even though they were battling amongst each other, they were still a family and had everybody's back.
Yep. And there were still life lessons in there, even with how dysfunctional that family could be.
Oh, yeah, very dysfunctional.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, I mean, it was a great show. It was a satire. I mean, no one should be looking at the show as this is real America. No, it's, there are people like that out there, but it's not the overall. This was a satire. It was making fun of, I mean, basically it was supposed to be making fun of the Cosby Show. And the original running title for it was Not the Cosby Show. Of course, they couldn't go with that, so it became Married with Children.
Right.
But I mean, for 11 years, we had Al and Peg and all of them going through their insane stupidity, and it was over the
great
top.
Guest stars.
But,
yeah.
And the thing is, boom. It was still the fact that they were loyal to each other, and you still had that basic value. We might fight, but you come after one of us, we'll gather together and get you. And of course, they had the guy on there that was the inspiration for the name of Al Bundy. King Kong Bundy show up once or twice. That's where the name came from. Was King Kong Bundy, not Ted.
Yep. King Kong Bundy, the wrestler.
I don't know how we got on this subject.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm just gonna say, let's go ahead and start wrapping up.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
So before we do that, Cash, do you have anything you want to promote?
Just some surprises that are still coming up. I don't have too much. I'm still working on a bunch of stuff, so thumbnails and different things.
All right, Baron, anything you want to promote?
Nothing much. I need to get a hold of Pops and see if we got any others we're going to be watching here soon. Be on the lookout for stuff over there on Pops' channel that we have done. Maybe it's for the pub. I have to check over there, man. I like watching them with the long suffering and to get her reaction to what we talked about, the movies that we watched, because she's usually watching with me. Other than that, not much. Hanging out with you guys, and we'll see. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, hanging out with you guys, hanging out with our wonderful chat out there, and hopefully irritating the right people.
Well, if it's been said, if you irritate people, then you're doing it right.
I mean, you're right. Like I said, I have such disdain for a lot of these out there that think all this new garbage is so good when it isn't. And and then tell us that we're wrong. We don't know anything about these IPs, and it's like, okay, well, I'm not debating anything with you guys because I know your playbook, and I know what you've already called me. Fuck off. And
well, yeah, I mean,
it's just like last night's stream. What did I call it? Stealth? What's that? So you have to figure that there's gonna be a lot of moments where I'm not using stealth because I'm sticking with the theme of the stream.
Yeah.
Why? Because someone gave me some good advice. Just have fun, Mike.
Yeah. Are you having fun? I'm having fun. Tommy, you having fun? Lady Miss, having fun? Hell yeah, are you having fun?
Tommy says he irritates himself. I must be doing it right. I think we all irritate our own selves.
Yeah.
Like, why'd you say that? Why'd you do that, Mike? Why? Something wrong with that head of yours? Maybe. But speaking of everybody who was here for tonight's episode, Lady Mist, thank you very much for being here. Helion, thank you for being here. Also, the long suffering, thank you for being here. Excuse me. Godzilla, thank you for being here, brother. Tommy, my fellow Transformers brother, thank you for being here. Tim, again, safe flight to Paris, and I hope he stays safe while he's over there too.
Oh yeah, please be safe, definitely.
Yeah, Pata, thank you, especially for the thumbs up on all the platforms. Now, to let everybody know what's coming up on the channel for Thursday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern on both YouTube and Rumble. I will be playing more Shinobi Art of Vengeance. And after I get to a point where I want to stop with that game, I am going to be playing 2 demos. One of them is going to be for the game Takeover 2, which is a side-scrolling beat-em-up. And then the other game is also a side-scrolling beat-em-up, and it's going to be Toxic Crusaders.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I gotta download that shit.
Yeah. So I'll be playing those demos once I get to a point in Shinobi Art of Vengeance where I think it's a good stopping point on YouTube and Rumble. And then on Friday, and the link will be there for everybody on YouTube as well. Join me over on Rumble at 6 p.m. Eastern as I continue to play Resident Evil Requiem, and my goal is to try to finish the game Friday night.
Nice.
We're holding you to that.
Well, that's what I'm hoping and aiming to do. Whether I actually accomplish it, well, I got to make sure that I focus on that main goal, finish the game. And now I do want to let all channel members know that this Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern, for all YouTube channel members, there will be a member stream. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. I wasn't expecting that.
My ears! My ears!
Sorry, everybody. But there will be a member stream this Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern for all channel members. If you want to pop in on the panel and talk about whatever you have on your mind, you're more than welcome to do that. And again, it's open to all channel members for Saturday. And then the Sunday, we have Pop Talk at 6 p.m. Eastern. More game streams next week on Tuesday and Thursday. And of course, a week from tonight, another edition of Pop Talk. But everybody, thank you for being here, watching, listening, lurking, rolling your eyes. Do whatever you do when you watch and listen to us. And until next time, everybody, you have yourselves a good night. And remember two things. When I'm playing a game, don't give up on me while I play that game, because just when you do, you might miss something. And I'm not just a baseball guy. I'm an all-around guy. Take care, all.
Autobots, transform and roll out!